What's good? What's good? What's good, baby? It's your boy Trex, the sports junkie, and welcome to the NBS Show. Y'all see the background? Yeah! The number one portal class as of right now. Hey, box office, we working over here. We working over here, man. Lane said I'm not coming to play. I'm coming to make some big moves, man. But what up, box office, man? Hey, this is number 2 in the portal. Shot, but according to 24/7, hey, Texas is doing their thing. I'm not even gonna be a hater. See, you a hater. I'm not gonna be a hater. Texas is doing some things, and I gotta be honest with you, bro. Before you go, dare I say, bro, Texas might be my pick to win it all next year, bro. But we'll talk about it why in a second.
What's going on, man? Look, I don't want to hear nothing about the portal because y'all talked about the portal last year, and then y'all won like 7 games. Hey, man, what an exciting time in football season. We have the national title game on Monday, and we have 2 playoff games in the NFL on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. The Super Bowl right around the corner. Man, let's get to it, man. I'm excited. And C is out there ducking me somewhere, man. I don't know where
God. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. But shout out to box office, man, for be pulling up. He could have been ducking me too, but he's only happy because Texas is number 2 right now in the portal. He's all excited about one move, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the NFL, but right now we're getting to what happened this past week. But go ahead, box office.
Hey, man, what a weekend. We saw a bunch of NFL playoff games, majority of them really good and down to the wire. So we will get to those. And also the up and coming playoff games. But let's start off with college football. We're gonna start. Let's start out with the blowout, and the blowout was Indiana dismantling Oregon. We all picked Indiana. Some had it close. Some, like myself, knew it would be a blowout. Were you surprised at the result?
Yes. Even though I picked Indiana to win the game, God, that was bad, bro. That was bad. Like, as I'm watching the game, bro, we actually had like a party. Like, literally, like, I was like, you know what? These ain't my teams. I'm going to have a good time. We're going to barbecue. We're going to have a good time with the family. We're going to, invite some people, whatnot. And I'm thinking we're going to have a good game on our hands. Bruh. That game was over at the end of the first quarter. I felt like there was no in the second halftime for sure. You thought it was over for sure. You can't even the Oregon fans knew that game was over at halftime. Oregon, we should have saw this coming from a mile away because Indiana beat them in the regular season, even though it was a closer game. I thought Dan Lanning would have a better game plan going into that game against Indiana the second time. I thought Dante Moore would play a little bit better than he did the first time around. And both of those, it didn't get better. It got worse in my mind. Like, Indiana was like, oh, you trying to do this? It's kind of like when you're playing checkers or chess or whatever game you want to play. It's like they literally had a counter for anything Oregon was trying to do. Oregon was trying to do anything Oregon tried to pull out. I felt like Indiana beat them to the spot. It's almost like they knew it was coming. So yes, I was impressed and surprised at the same time by what Indiana did in that game. And I can't even lie, like Dante Moore, I know we're gonna maybe talk about that later on, but Dante Moore coming back to Oregon, I don't even know, like I'm torn. Should he have just gone because he was probably going to be a top 10 pick, top 5 pick, maybe a top 2 pick in the draft coming up? What if they stink the bed again next year? His draft might even drop even more because, we just saw going into this season, Drew Allen, Cade Klubnik, Gary Nussmeier, who were all projected first round, surefire first round quarterbacks, if not second round at worst. And now all these guys may not get drafted come April. So yeah, I don't know what Dante Moore is thinking. We're going to talk about it in a few. But yes, I was impressed by Indiana, and I was definitely surprised by what I saw from Oregon.
Okay. I, on the other hand, was not surprised. I called this on the show. To me, it was pretty obvious. The first game was in Eugene. Oregon gave them all they had, and they lost by 10 in Eugene. And then that game, if you go watch it, Dante Moore and the offense couldn't do much on offense. They had one deep ball for a touchdown, and that was pretty much it. They actually had a pick six on Mendoza that kept them around in the game.
Right.
And I said, look, with Cignetti getting that game already in Eugene, you give him more time, they're going to destroy him the second time. And that's exactly what happened. I knew it was bad from the first play of the game. D'Angelo Pons with a pick six. I said, yep. And what's crazy is I think the line was -3.5, and I took Indiana -10.5. But I wish I took it -21.5 because I knew it would be a blowout. But I don't know. I kept hesitating. I kept fighting myself in the head about it. So I'm not surprised at all. All of us don't think Mendoza will be that great in the NFL, but honestly, the more I watch him, he's big.
Hey, I was gonna say the same thing. The more I watch Mendoza, because he, like you said, he reminds me of Jared Goff a little bit too now. And I'm like, if he goes to the right situation and they get the right coaching staff around him, it can work.
Right? Yeah. I mean, that's all it comes down to is honestly the right coach. So he reminds me a little bit of Goff, reminds me a little bit of Kirk Cousins, somewhere there, some mix like that. But those are two quarterbacks that have been successful in the NFL. Yep. Not everybody needs to be Tom Brady. Okay, you can have a good career and win a Super Bowl being one of those guys. So, Mendoza keeps balling. He's just hot right now. And I like his receiving corps. Also, what I like about that team is they don't look for credit, individually. They're okay with the other guys shining. 1 week it's Black, the running back. The next week it's Surratt, the receiver. The next week it's Cooper. And some weeks it's just Mendoza spreading the ball around. So I like what I'm seeing, and I was not surprised at all. Oregon, man, we've talked about it before with Lanning. Lanning now has to win the Natty. I think the next guys in line that are going to feel heat are Lanning, Sark, and those type of guys. So Lanning's going to be under the hot seat eventually. Not saying hot seat in terms of getting himself in a fireable offense possibly, but just hey, they got Phil Knight money, and they're going to be like, look, we're giving you the right resources. If Cignetti can do it at Indiana, you can do it here.
Absolutely, and that's all it comes down to. At Oregon right now, the playoffs is not good enough. You have to try to win. Right, that's expected. Even myself, going into the year, I had Oregon making the playoffs. A lot of people didn't because they lost Dylan Gabriel. I was like, bro, Dante Moore should get into the playoffs. They don't have to play Ohio State. They don't have to play Michigan. They should get there.
Agreed. All right, well, let's go on to the next game. We had Miami and Ole Miss, a thriller. Fire. My question is, did anything surprise you in this game?
Hey, bro, I don't want to say it surprised me, but dog, I mean, you know how much I like Trinidad Chambers, but dog, he put on a performance. Like, at first I was like, bro, truthfully, Miami should have won by more, in my opinion. In the first half, I felt like they outplayed them. But once Trinidad found his rhythm, it was like, bruh, they couldn't stop him. He literally was doing whatever he wanted on the field. Like, okay, you're gonna do this. It's like he was like literally like I just said about Indiana. You do this, I'm gonna do this. If you switch to this, oh God. Oh God. Oh Jesus. Oh my God, he has to start there. Okay, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at that. But Trinidad Chambers, literally, it's like if you do this, I'm gonna do this. If you do that, I'm gonna do this. And like he was literally picking Miami apart. So shout out to him. Unbelievable game, bro. It literally came down. I know people want to say it was pass interference. I'm not mad at you if you thought it was pass interference. I thought he did grab him, but nonetheless, incredible game. I'm not gonna blame the refs for Miami winning that game. I know some people are Ole Miss fans are blaming the refs for Miami winning that game, but I'm giving credit to Carson Beck and how he performed down the stretch because I was nervous. I'll be honest, Joe. That last drive, I'm like, bro, I picked Miami, but Carson Beck might mess around and throw a pick. He threw a pick against SMU. He threw a pick against Louisville. I was like, bro, he may throw a pick right here. But the poise, some of the catches made, even the catch that wasn't made by Malachi Tony, just ridiculous by the Miami receivers. So shout out to all of them, CJ Daniels and company. But it was a great game, bro. It was a great game, fun to watch. At least we got that one. The other one was not fun to watch, not great for TV, but this one exceeded the hype, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I saw a good game coming, and I picked Miami in a close one. But I think it even exceeded my expectations in terms of the quality of game. I thought it was awesome. I think the difference was, though, Ole Miss, especially in the first half, they couldn't get third downs, and they barely had the ball. They had the ball for 18 minutes all game.
Right.
They woke up a little bit in the second half, but I think had they taken advantage of the first half, they might have won this game. So Kewan Lacey also got hurt. He wasn't the same after the long run. You could tell the hamstring was bothering him. But it's all part of it. As far as the pass interference, I actually had no problem with the no call. There is a little bit of a hold there, but I don't think the receiver was just innocent either. I thought he was holding him too. I was good with that no call. Now, we're always going to debate this because in every sport, they're not going to call certain things late in games that they would call in the second quarter.
Right.
It's maybe not right, but officiating, they're not robots. They're not AIs. Like they can't call it perfectly. It's never going to be perfect. So I don't think it was blatant enough to call it, but I had no problem with the no call.
But I mean, even if you get the call, you're still not guaranteed to score the next play. Like I'm not, and it's not like the NFL where you get the 1 yard line.
Right.
So I just didn't understand why people were saying the refs screwed them.
Yeah, I think people would have been even more pissed had they been down 3, where they could have kicked the field goal. That would have been different. But maybe they don't wait that long to kick the field goal because their kicker has the leg on him. So
that's ridiculous, bro.
That's an NFL kicker.
That's an NFL kicker, absolutely.
Yeah, he's really good. But all in all, a great game. Not really surprising to me. Kind of what I expected, but it was awesome. So,
I think I saw it was you or it was my other homeboy, but I'm asking you. The Malachi Tony catch. We debated that too, like me and my friends. What do you think? Where's your stance on that?
Okay, so I know exactly what you're talking about, the one-hander. Mm-hmm. And I was texting another group chat of mine with homies in it. The NFL and college football in general, needs to really sit down and clear up rules. Because some things simply just don't make sense.
Right.
So Malachi Tony catches the ball. I can't remember whether it was 1 foot, 2 feet. It doesn't matter because it's college and they just need one. but he catches it and the toe hits first, then the heel hits out of bounds.
Yep.
But if he's turned the other way, the toe hits. They don't even ask for the heel.
Right.
And they say it's a catch. That makes no sense because Malachi told me what he did. That should be a catch.
Right.
In my whole life, that has never made sense. Like I've seen that before. What I don't know about UX. Who's the best receiver you ever thought you saw in your life? Doesn't matter, college or NFL, at making spectacular catches. Like Jerry Rice never made spectacular catches. Like he made the most simple catches ever.
I mean, there's a few. I know what you're talking about. Of course, you're gonna put Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson in there because of just jumping over through 2 and 3 people. Brandon Lloyd is underrated as far as catching crazy catches.
San Francisco,
right. But probably the two that come to mind is Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson, just because of all the people around them and them just snagging the ball out the air. But Brandon Lloyd's definitely there too.
To me, it was actually Marvin Harrison to me. Like Marvin Harrison had a whole bunch of like one-handers near the sideline. He made a lot of those hard catches at times. And I'm a Colts. I saw all those catches.
Right.
And dog, Marvin Harrison was, I think, the best receiver ever at like knowing where his feet were during those catches. Because when he was falling out, he always managed to keep 2 legs. He always managed to drag his legs. And so I remember watching Marvin Harrison had a couple of catches that were incomplete that were just like Malachi Tony's. And I used to sit there and I'm like, so it counts when his body's turned a certain way, but not the other way. But it's the same concept. You're hitting your toes first. Why does the heel after that matter?
Right.
So that should be a catch, and the NFL needs to figure that out.
We're gonna have to bring a referee on, man, on this show to talk to us about that. I got a homeboy. He does ref. It's high school, but maybe he can explain that rule further to us, and then if we can get somebody on a higher level, a college ref or NFL ref, to come in and talk to us about that.
Well, what do you think? Like, do you think that should be?
I thought it should be a catch. When I watched, I'm like, dog, his toes touched, and then he came down. Like, I don't know. Like, if his whole foot would have came down at one time, okay, it's not a catch. But his toes came down, I thought it was a catch.
And then I don't know. I've seen that way too often though, where the receivers get the toe down, but they don't get the heel, and they say incomplete.
Yeah. It's definitely a rule because it's like as soon as it happened, the refs in the I forgot the guy that was the ref in the booth or whatever. He wasn't in the booth, but he talked to him, and he was like, "That's not a catch because his heel came down out of bounds." So I was like, "Okay, well, I've been watching football a long time." I was like, "Dang, that's crazy."
And it's only getting worse though, because with gambling now a thing. And if you had Malachi Tony for a certain amount of yards and that they count that incomplete, that's going to be under a microscope more often, and fans are going to complain on social media. And so sometimes it's going to blow up over the top. So they have to get these tic-tac rules cleared up. And I hate the roughing the passer calls we get nowadays.
Some of them are terrible.
Ridiculous.
Oh my God, they're terrible.
Ridiculous. I forgot exactly what player. I think it was somebody on the Patriots, if I remember this weekend, hit Herbert in the head with his hand. They didn't call it, but sometimes they call it. I just don't like as much football as I watch. The more I watch, the more I'm unsure of these rules. Like I don't know what's going on anymore.
I tell you, like going back to the catch. I mean, Calvin Johnson against the Bears, I thought was a catch. I know now they say it's not a catch. That's the Calvin Johnson rule. I thought Dez Bryant. I know I wasn't even going for the Cowboys. I thought he caught the ball. So I mean, he reached out for the ball. I'm like, bro, He took 2 or 3 steps and reached. Like, it wasn't like he just dropped the ball. But,
Right.
I mean, I'm like you. I don't even know no more what's a catch, what's not a catch. You just got to hope that the guys hold on to the ball, complete the catch, and hopefully they got both feet in bounds. Because even if you have 1 foot in bounds, it may say in college, oh, nope, that's not a catch. You don't even know no more.
And it's crazy. Like the NFL thinks they're slick on a lot of these close calls. They hire, the guy that's I forgot what they refer to him at. That's in like New York handling
Uh-huh.
and like they go to him after a lot of controversial calls, and he agrees about the calls. I think just to literally back up the NFL because, bro, some of these things are just way too obvious. Because the commentators, whoever it is, will be like, I don't know about that one.
I'll say this. I'm glad you brought that up. The commentators that don't just side with the referees, that's the ones I like the best.
Right.
Like, you got to hold them accountable on the pass interferences, the roughing the passers. Like, just say, look, that wasn't roughing the passer, bro. That was not pass interference. That was pass interference. They should have called that. I wish that more guys that's calling the game would just be honest with themselves and just say what they think. If they get it, people gonna agree to disagree.
Exactly. So, okay. All right. Let's move on to the transfer portal. As you see my background there.
Hey,
Who's your winner of the transfer portal so far? Obviously, still deals are being made, but so far, what do you like, and who do you think is having a rough time?
okay, so I think, and I'm not just saying this because normally I don't agree with 24/7 all the way, but the transformation I've seen with LSU after the year they had, the um the coach leaving, the players that left, I really believe that Lane Kiffin has built his team. And I said I don't expect us to win this year, the first year with Lane Kiffin. It's going to take some time. But I do believe that he's built a team that can compete in the SEC and really do some things special in the SEC. I know Sam Levitt hasn't looked the same since that Texas Tech game, maybe you want to go back to. But if they can get Sam Levitt to take that next step under Lane Kiffin, they have I think, a really good quarterback. We talked about Sam Levitt going into this season. It's just that he got hurt, and he just didn't look the same after the injury. Husan Longstreet. I can't even believe that he signed with LSU. I'm like, bruh, you're gonna come be a backup. You're literally at USC, and I was like, there's no way that kid's gonna leave USC to come to LSU. Maybe he'll go to Miami. Maybe he'll go, somewhere where he could become the guy. And he signed with LSU. Still, I think with 4 years of eligibility. I think it's 4. I think he got 4 years. It's definitely at least 3.
Yeah.
Sam Levitt, how was that?
I don't know exactly, but I know it's at least 3.
Right. He's a former 5-star. Sam Levitt has 2 years. If he has a breakout year, though, I don't expect for him to stay because if they do some crazy things. But I will admit, I said it before the show started, and this is before he signed. He has him in his background. I thought Cam Coleman was the prize in this portal. The guy is a beast. I thought he would consider, from what I understand, he didn't even consider Ohio State. It was really Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech. I think he thought about Alabama. But he goes to Texas, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. That's scary. Because the way Arch ended the year, and then you bring in Cam Coleman, bruh, Texas is not rebuilding, they're reloading. I don't like it. I don't like it. So I think 24/7 got it right now. I think the 2 teams that I really like in what I'm seeing is Texas and LSU. Ole Miss, to say that they've lost some pieces. I like what Ole Miss has done up until this point. They actually can bring Trinidad Chambers back now. I think Trinidad Chambers should go to the league. I mean, that's just what I think now, just based off what his run looked like. I'm not saying he's gonna be great, but he has a lot of Kyler Murray in him to me. But Kyler Murray hasn't particularly worked out. But to me, I don't know. He's just a different person than Kyler Murray, but he has a Kyler Murray type game to me. Um, but he'll probably go back to college. But the team that I think right now I'm kind of like, okay, what you gonna do is the Miami Hurricanes. Carson Beck is gonna leave after this year, and you tried to get Sam Levitt. You struck out there. LSU didn't let it happen. Lane Kiffin was on a flight to Tennessee, trying to talk him back into coming to LSU. And now Miami may win a national championship, but where do they go from here? What quarterback do you think they should go out and get? That's the main thing. Like, where are they going from here? Because I'm not saying that they can't find nobody. The guys that's on their team can't be those guys. I'm just looking at their team, and they've been going into the portal, getting guys the last 2 years. That has really elevated the Miami Hurricanes. And now, I don't know where they go from here. Dylan Raiola went to Oregon. Now Dante Moore is back. Maybe you should have went get Dylan Raiola. I don't know. But right now, as much as I've been, cheerleading, I guess, for the Miami Hurricanes this whole playoff, I think I'm a little concerned about the Miami Hurricanes, man, and where they go from here at the quarterback position.
Okay. Another website, I don't know if you how much you know about it, X, but similar to Rivals and 247, all of them is On3.
On3, yep, I know.
Yep. So I like On3 as well. But in terms of this, I always talk bad about LSU because I really do think y'all are delusional and y'all do crazy stuff. But and I wasn't a fan of Nuss Bus at all. I actually liked Sam Levesque.
Uh-huh.
I actually liked him at Arizona State.
I know you did.
Yeah, I liked them, and he played really well in the playoff game against Texas. They won the Big 12 that year. He did get hurt this year, but I actually think he'll be fine. Lane Kiffin's done good with quarterbacks. Lane Kiffin knows what he's doing with quarterbacks. So I actually think Sam Levesque to LSU is actually a good fit. I was hoping y'all didn't get him, but y'all did. Y'all deserve somebody. But I think y'all will be fine in terms of quarterback. I actually think it's an upgrade. I'll put it that way. I think it's an upgrade. And like you said, he could also be there 2 years. Right. As of right now, he's at least a Tiger for next year. So I like what LSU did there. Texas, man. I told you, X. I was telling you, I said, bruh, Texas is going to get Cam Coleman. And you said, I'll take him and bet the field. And I'm like, hell no. Nah, because come on, bro. But I knew Texas was highly linked to him. And it came down to Texas, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech. He thought about Alabama and USC, but it looks like it was one of the Texas schools. And honestly, I'm not saying that because I'm a Texas fan. I think he made the right decision because we're gonna have the best quarterback, and I'm sure Texas also gave him the most money. With Arch Manning, you get Cam Coleman, and you also have Ryan Wingo, who should take the next step next year. I think that's fire. I also follow recruiting, so I actually knew about Cam Coleman a couple years ago because he was part of that receiver class where it was Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, Cam Coleman, and actually Ryan Wingo, who Texas already has. Mm-hmm. So now you get those two together. I love it. I'm so excited that Cam Coleman is a Longhorn. The only thing that I think Texas did their thing at running back, but I can't believe they got both running backs. So they got Raleek Brown from Arizona State, who was all Big 12. And then they went and got Hollywood Smothers, another starter from NC State. I'm shocked that both agreed to that, because they will both get the ball, but you want to be the obvious number one. And I'm shocked they, both committed, but I'll take it. And whoever's better in camp, is going to be the number one guy. So I love what Texas has done on the offense side. Now, X, for more bad news for LSU and good news for Texas, Jordan Seaton, the offensive lineman leaving Colorado. I'm hearing It's down to Texas and Oregon. So I'm telling you right now, by the time we come on the show next week, he
Oh
will
God.
be a Longhorn or a Duck, and I have a feeling he'll be a Longhorn.
Oh God. So I got a question for what you said real quick before you go to your next thing.
Yeah.
You think Archman, and I understand where you're going as far as projected, but you said he's the best quarterback out of the three. You think he's better than Marcel Reed is in college?
Yes. I would have told you Reed last year or this past year, but I loved what I saw out of Arch going into next year. Like
Okay.
I think people would watch that Ohio State game and they kind of like that's stuck in their head. But he's played much better down the
Yeah,
stretch.
down the stretch for sure. I
He
agree with
did.
that.
He woke up. He played well. You go even watch the Michigan Bowl game. He took over the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
You could just tell his confidence changed.
right.
And I think Arch just needs to clean up his mechanics. That's all I want him to do. Just clean it up. Enough with the side throws. You're not Aaron Rodgers. You're not Matt Stafford. Make regular throws, bruh. Yet not everybody is that blessed. Your uncles did not throw it sidearm like that. Like,
Right.
stick to what you do. Make it simple. And I loved what I saw, and I love the momentum for March. Marcel Reed, man, I like what I see out of him in terms of the dual threat. I don't like what I see from him in big games.
Well,
You
it was
got to
one.
split.
Well, not one game, I guess. The Texas game.
He's
And
been bad against Texas back-to-back years.
yeah,
And in Miami, you don't even score a touchdown at home.
right.
Like, come on. Like, he
He
threw
played
the
well
first.
against Notre Dame, though.
Yes, he did play well there, but I would just like to see a little more from Marcel Reed in big spots. But that's how I feel about our two teams. I think Texas did really well. I'm still expecting Jordan Seaton, and then LSU upgrade at quarterback, in my opinion. Let me tell you a team. Trying to think, what team do I not like from what I've seen? I'll tell you another team I like what they did was Ole Miss.
Yeah, Ole Miss has had a good offseason so far.
Losing Lane Kiffin, bruh. Keywan Lacey wants to come back. Chambliss wanted to come back.
Yeah.
They get Deuce Knight, who I think should end up a star. I think Ole Miss, for the circumstances they were in, has done a terrific job.
Ole Miss just got to make sure their coaching staff is going to coach these guys up because they have talent.
Right. For me, so far, I'd say the loser overall, though, is Texas A&M, honestly. I don't think they've done anything special. Today, they lost a big lineman to Texas, actually. So I think that Texas A&M needs some work. They should, with the money and resources they have, they should be top 5 in the transfer portal repeatedly. I think Texas Tech has done a good job. So I'm going to say the loser for right now has been Texas A&M for me because I'm not seeing that much improvement just from a transfer portal going into next year.
I will say this last thing about LSU. You know, I know box office gives us a hard time, but let me say this to everybody out there. I like that we're the bad guys. I love it. I love my favorite LeBron is LeBron in Miami. I like when people don't like us. I want you to stay over there. If you don't like LSU, stay over there. We like when we're hated. So if you don't like us, that makes it even better for me. Woo! Oh man. But I don't like I will say this as far as Texas Tech is concerned. You know, I wasn't a big Sorsby guy to begin with. I didn't want LSU to go get Sorsby. I'm like, bruh. I swear if we sign this dude, bro. And it's
I
not
mean,
no
I did want him.
I just, I wish him the best at Texas Tech, but I didn't want Sorsby, bro. And it worked out good for me. I wanted Chambliss. I'll be the first one to say that. That's what I wanted because I didn't know what Levitt was going to bring to the table. But I'm okay with Levitt. I just hope he's healthy. But now with us getting Husan Longstreet, I feel like, okay, now we have a plan in place. Shout out to Lane Kiffin, man. That's my coach, man. That's my coach box office. Oh, man.
All right. Well, we're going to get back to college football in a little bit. We're going to get to the national title game. We're going to talk Indiana, Miami. We're going to break it down. But first, let's go first to the NFL. And what a weekend. We had another we had a great start to the playoffs. I mean, we had the Jags Bills in a close one. Patriots Chargers. The score was 16-3, but we know that game was close until the last 5 minutes of the game. Rams Panthers, awesome game.
Really good
Eagles Niners was close, and we had the Bears Packers. Tell me who impressed you most this weekend. It could be a player, it could be a team, it doesn't matter.
The Bears. I didn't pick them to win. I thought at halftime, I'm like, bro, I was about to text you. I swear to God. And I swear to God, it's like God told me, boy, you better not text them. They might come back and beat them. But I was about to text you and be like, bro, what were you thinking picking the Bears to beat the Packers, bro? Like, because the Packers look so dominant in the first half. And, bro, I'm like, oh, they're going to blow out the Bears. But the Bears just don't give up, bro. Them fools, you got to play the entire game, all 4 quarters. Because if you don't, they don't give up. Shout out to Ben Johnson, man, and what he's brought to that team. Look, I wasn't a Caleb Williams guy coming in, but I thought he was talented. I just didn't like his psyche. But I feel like they went get the guy that can coach him. Like they went get, like he found the perfect coach. That's the best marriage, quote unquote. I know it's not a marriage, but that's the best marriage he could have possibly had. And bruh, the Bears are going to be scary moving forward. I'm not even just talking about this year. Once they really start to figure it out, the fact that they don't quit on Ben Johnson, to me, that's scary. So I'm going to give the Bears the team that I think they were down 21-3, and it looked worse than that, in my opinion. I felt like the Packers dominated the first half. But yeah, man, the Bears, the fact that they came back in a game against their rival, a team that they played, and they literally just came back a few weeks ago and beat them in a thriller, to do it again. Hey, I give them all credit, man.
I mean, that quarterback class in general, people were so quick last year. Oh, Jaden Daniels is head and shoulders above everybody. But look how in a year it changes so quickly.
Right.
Caleb Williams is nice, and he's only going to get better. What a throw on 4th and 8.
What best throw this past week for sure, if not the greatest this year. In the moment, you got to think about the moment.
Season on the line.
Season on the line, bro.
I mean, that was awesome. That was awesome. Drake May, we already know the type of year he's had. Bo Nix can prove himself in these playoffs. So that quarterback class is deep. And we're going to have to find out in a couple years who's the best one. But definitely Daniels, Caleb Williams, and Drake May leading the way right now. So incredible. I agree with you. I think Ben Johnson with Caleb Williams, I think in 4 years, Caleb Williams could be the best Chicago Bear quarterback ever.
No, I agree with you, bro. That throw, I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to read that. I wrote something down, but I didn't have it in front of me. And I forgot that notepad. But that throw was incredible, bro. Like, I'm sitting there like, bro, how the hell he made that, dog? That was incredible. On the line, game on the line, too. Shout out to him, bro.
Yeah, incredible comeback. Um, but yeah, in terms of who I was most impressed with, I'm going to go with the 49ers.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyle Shanahan just keeps getting it done. Dog, no team has had more injuries this past year.
That's a
They've
fact.
lost starters after starters. Fred Warner's out. Nick Bosa's out. Brandon Ayuk has never played this year. Parasol is out. They lose George Kittle in the middle of the game,
Yep.
out for the year. Oh, doesn't matter. Let's keep it going. Uh, McCaffrey's been a little beat up. Um, uh, I mean, I can't even keep up anymore how many starters they've had. And they just keep making it work. Kyle Shanahan's system is crazy, man. Oh, and Brock Purdy missed like 8 games. So
Yep.
their system is just insane. I was convinced the Eagles were going to win that game going into it. But at the end of the day, the 49ers kept making adjustments, kept pushing, and they figured out ways to pull it out. So shout out to the Niners, man, because now they have a shot playing against a team that they know very well, and they'll play them for a third time this year. So I was impressed by the Niners, and I've been impressed with them pretty much all year because they keep getting it done.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. The Niners, I didn't think they were going to beat the Eagles in Philly with all the injuries. I was like, there's no way they're going to beat up on the defending champs. But I don't know if it's been a topic, but come on, AJ Brown, bro. When I saw that, I said the Eagles are going to lose this game. I said I picked these fools to get to the Super Bowl and win it. I'm like, bro, they're not winning the Super Bowl. I said, bro, they're sitting there arguing, and I know competitive juices hit. Listen, I'm all for that. You know, everybody wants to win, but with the year they had, as far as the up and down, all the talk in the locker room, off the field, on social media. I just felt like y'all just keep adding fuel to the fire. AJ Brown won't be an Eagle after. I mean, this upcoming offseason, they're gonna trade him for sure.
I agree. I agree. There's no way he's back after causing them a headache all year, and then you drop balls at the biggest moment
Bruh.
this year. He had a couple big drops, huge,
Yes.
and you wanted the ball. You cannot ask for the ball and complain about not getting it, and then you drop it once you do get it. So
And AJ Brown, me and Box Office love you. One of our favorite receivers in the league. So
yeah,
it's not like we're just sitting. I want the Saints to go out and try to trade for you. I've said that numerous times. I think it would be a great addition to the New Orleans Saints to help build that team for the future.
and he's been to 2 Super Bowls and one title there, and gotten 1,000 yards every year there. And if you're not happy there, where are you going to be happy after getting all that?
I have no
So, hey, they might send you back to a Tennessee caliber team, and then we'll see how happy you are. So, my thing is, if AJ Brown's going to talk, he's got a ball, and he played bad in that game. 25
facts.
yards, come on. Um,
Facts.
all right, let's move on to some coaching news. Are you shocked Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin are gone?
Yeah, man. You know, we talked about this. I was like, bruh, the Ravens ain't moving on from Harbaugh. They let him go. And then Mike Tomlin steps down. I think that Mike Tomlin stepped down. Now, of course, this is just my speculation. Um, he heard the rumors. He heard people saying, well, you haven't won a playoff game in this long. I think that it started to, okay, well, since that's how y'all feel, cool. Now I'm gonna step down and let y'all, go ahead and let's see what y'all can do without me. Now, granted, he may just need a reset, similar to Andy Reid when he was in Philly. Just a new place to go out there and build a foundation and build over in a new city. I don't know what it is, but I just think that he looked at that situation. It was like every year people keep saying Mike Tomlin this, Mike Tomlin that. I don't think he's a great coach. I don't think he's this. Okay, well now Pittsburgh, if you felt that way, now you got what you wanted. Now go find a coach that you feel is great and is going to take you out to the next the next 10 years of your franchise's existence, and let's see what happens. I think Mike Tomlin will sit out this year. I don't think he's gonna coach this year, and I think he'll probably be back coaching next year. John Harbaugh. I think that he'll be coaching for sure this year. I just can't believe that the Ravens let him go. I don't think it's all on him to blame him for what happened this year. Lamar was hurt, beat up most of the year. Derrick Henry, even though he had a good year, he fumbled the ball in big situations, huge situations that could have gotten some extra dubs. And of course, their kicker happened in the game. I'm not saying it's all on the kicker, but at the end of the day, Harbaugh has been great for the Ravens. And I'm hearing Kevin Stefanski. Like, I don't know how you go from Harbaugh to, and that's respectfully. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just trying to, C always says, okay, if you're going to fire me, who are you going to replace me with? Who are you going to replace me with? I don't know about that one. So we'll see where it goes, but I am shocked for both of them.
Yeah, I agree. I was really shocked when Harbaugh was let go. And then after Tomlin let go, I was just baffled. I could not believe both are gone. I don't think either one really deserved to go, because they were playoff quality teams. But sometimes, organizations just need a new voice. Sometimes it's just time to turn the page. So I didn't think they deserved it, but I understood it. Andy Reid didn't even win a Super Bowl in Philadelphia, but he was in numerous NFC title games.
Right.
Was always in the hunt, and he got let go there. So sometimes maybe it's even good for Harbaugh and Tomlin to have that new start. I think I was even more surprised about Tomlin because I meant to say, I actually think Tomlin deserved a little more than Harbaugh, because Harbaugh, at least recently, was in the AFC title game. Tomlin, man, the last time he won a playoff game, Obama was in office. So, the Steelers being the Steelers, they're not going to put up with that. Eventually, the Steelers, are that type of organization where they expect to be one of the elite franchises in the league. So, I understood it. Now, Tomlin, he was always over 500. So, he never was part of a losing organization while he was there. So, like I said, I don't know if they deserved it, but I understand it. And sometimes we got to move on and turn the page. So, as far as what I think their future holds, I do think Harbaugh is going to be a coach this year. He apparently likes Tennessee, and he met with New York. he met with New York today. So that's interesting. I think he's going to have at least 5 offers.
The Jets should give him literally whatever his number is. That's the only way they're going to turn that franchise around right now. It's not the Giants, but the Jets. I know Aaron Glenn's there. I wish Aaron Glenn the best. They need to do something. And I hope Aaron Glenn works out. I know you're talking about the Giants. I meant to say the Giants. But now that I said the Jets, I hope Aaron Glenn works out. But if it doesn't work out this year, Mike Tomlin or Harbaugh, man, because the Jets are so, bruh. Where do the Jets go? Now they even get Dante Moore unless because he's not. They have to move up and try to get him in the first pick. Fernando Mendoza.
Well, the Jets are not going to get Harbaugh because he's going to take a job this cycle. He's going to take it.
I mean, I think Harbaugh. If you ask me today, we talked about what job we would take. The Giants and the Falcons are definitely both interesting. But I'm telling you, if it was me, I would take the Tennessee job. The cap space and the quarterback. I got those two things. I feel good about moving forward. And the pressure to win right away is not going to be there. The Giants are going to be ready to win right away. The Falcons, even though the Falcons haven't won anything, no, they have too much talent not to have to. They need to win now.
Yeah, I agree. I do think these teams should go out all out for Harbaugh, because I don't think there's many coaches out there that are better. And I think for him, it was he needed a healthy new start. I
Right.
think he's going to be rejuvenated, and I think this is going to be a good thing for Harbaugh in the end. As far as Tomlin, everything I'm reading, he's going to take at least a year off. And if I'm Tomlin, I would literally not coach. By the way, he's 56, so he's still young. I would not coach until Andy Reid retires from Kansas City
Okay.
and go take that job.
Yeah, you have a quarterback. You know that.
Hey, Tomlin was never under 500, even years he didn't have a quarterback. Give him the best quarterback in the league,
Right.
and I think he's gonna be happy to take that job.
I
So
think Tomlin. I know he wants to take a. I feel like he wants to take a year off, but I'm telling you, I'm like probably like the biggest person on that bandwagon. If I'm Tomlin, I would look at that Tennessee job, bro. I really believe he got a quarterback over there.
some think the Giants have Jackson Dart.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at that because he did play well. He played better than I thought he was gonna play.
Right. Um, I think that's the only issue with the Atlanta Falcons
Yeah,
because they have a roster,
yeah,
and you got to figure out quarterback. I
right.
mean, Penix. The issue with Penix is he's injury prone. I mean, I think he's on his third ACL. Third ACL, and he hasn't even ended his rookie contract. Um, and Kirk Cousins obviously isn't the future, so you got to figure out quarterback, and that's the thing about Atlanta, and they're such a good roster that you're not going to be picking in the top five. So you got to figure out quarterback some way somehow, and I think that's what's hurting Atlanta compared to the New Yorks and the Tennessees.
Right, right. What do you think about the Miami job? I know last time we talked, we didn't think my boy was gonna get fired, but he did.
He
So
did, and I don't know if he would have gotten fired until Harbaugh got
right,
fired.
right,
Um, but I'm hearing Harbaugh wants his own GM, and they already hired a GM.
right.
So it's like I don't think that helps their case. I think Miami is similar to Atlanta. You have a good roster, you don't have a quarterback, and I think that's what's
So
hurting.
you all out on Tua.
Yeah, yeah. He and I think Miami is too.
Okay.
I think they're gonna eat the. I think they're gonna eat the cap. I think
Wow.
they're ready to move on.
Okay. All right. Okay. We'll see.
Yep. All right. Let's move on to Aaron Rodgers. Has he played his last down in the NFL?
I do believe so, man. I do. And unfortunately for him, um, it came against I've been a big fan of Aaron Rodgers, but it came against a team that I just thought, and the reason why I picked them was Houston, not because of their offense. CJ Stroud, I don't think CJ Stroud played great this past week by no means. But dog, their defense, bro, is so nasty. Um, I really got on the bandwagon of Houston's defense when I saw them against Josh Allen. I was like, bruh, these dudes are ridiculous. Like they just found something, and they have they remind me similar to the Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom defense. I'm not putting them there yet, but they have their secondary's nasty. They have like the Legion of Boom in the secondary, but then they get after the quarterback, similar to the Giants when they beat Brady. Um, they're loaded, bro. They're gonna be tough to beat. I know that y'all laughed. Some of that say y'all, but like I have friends that laugh when I pick Houston to get to the Super Bowl. But that's why all I can go off of is who's gonna be able to score enough points to beat that defense. And if CJ Stroud shows up at any point in these playoffs, bro, it's gonna be even harder to beat this team. I just think that Aaron Rodgers, bro, he's had an incredible career. He hasn't, Do you think he lived up to what we thought he was gonna be? I'm not when he got drafted. I'm talking about once he won that Super Bowl. A lot of us thought he was gonna win multiple Super Bowls, and it just never happened. Um, it has been a pleasure watching him. But I do believe it's his last game, bro.
For me, before Tomlin was let go or he stepped down, however people think it went down, I actually thought he was going to come back.
Yeah.
But with Tomlin now getting let go or stepping out, whatever, I do think Aaron Rodgers played his last down. I really do. And the worst part is I don't think that this is on his terms. I just don't think he wants to. First off, the next coach, whoever it is, highly unlikely that they're going to want Rodgers to stick around because new coaches want their own guys.
Right.
They want to. They also want to put their foot down and say, "This is my team. I want to show some control here." And I don't think he wants to go elsewhere. And I just think he doesn't want to be remembered kind of like Brett Favre, where I was a Jet, then I was a Viking, and then I was always every offseason possibly in, possibly retired. I think this is where he draws the line. I think he says, look, I played for two great franchises. He wants to forget all about the Jets and that situation. And I think he'll just be like, look, I can live with this. I'm okay retiring. I think the only way he comes back is if the next coach says, sure, we'll take you for a year in Pittsburgh. I don't think he wants to play for a fourth team.
You don't think he'll play for so if let's just let me throw out a team that I think is what
Atlanta,
if
Miami.
what if Atlanta? What if Atlanta? A team that no.
No, I just don't think he wants to start at another organization.
Okay.
But I do think if Pittsburgh said we'll take you, I think he would do it.
What if okay, I'm gonna throw the curveball at you. Now, of course, it's the biggest curveball. You probably like that ain't gonna happen, but let's just say it does. The Rams win the Super Bowl and Matthew Stafford retires.
He would do it just because it's Devontae Adams and McVay.
That would be the only chance he would come back with another team.
Right, I agree. I think if it's another team, that's it. That's the only way. Maybe if next year started and Jordan Love got hurt and it's serious, and the Packers called him and said, "You want to finish this thing off here?" But obviously, that wouldn't happen in the off season. So, yeah, I think he would do the Rams, but I don't think Stafford is retiring, even if they win the Super Bowl. I don't, because I've watched a couple Stafford interviews. He's made it clear. He's like, I want to keep playing.
Okay, my last thing before we get off of this topic, because if this is his last game played, not off the eye test, resume, do you think he's a top 5 quarterback?
Yes, and I've said it for a while. I think people are. I think a lot of Aaron Rodgers haters, like the guy that's ducking us here tonight. I think they're holding on to this Aaron Rodgers with the Jets and Steelers guy. I'm going to remember Aaron Rodgers as a Packer. I'm going to remember 4 MVPs. I'm going to remember a Super Bowl. I think he also played his best game ever in the Super Bowl. He was deadly accurate in that game.
I remember the Falcon game to get to before they got to the Super Bowl. In that Falcon game, he went crazy, bro.
Yeah. But I just think it being the Super Bowl, he was ridiculous, and the Packers also dropped so many passes in that game. I mean, if you get
got hurt.
Yeah. And I know it was like 2011 or 2010, whenever it was. Go back, watch the highlights, bro. Oh my God, he was insanely accurate. And the Packers even dropped a bunch. So, did he underachieve a little bit with the Super Bowl appearances? Yes. He should have played in more than one Super Bowl. They got to a whole bunch of NFC title games that they were favorites in,
Yep.
and they choked. They even asked Aaron Rodgers. I watched an interview. What game hurts? He said the NFC title game against Seattle because that's when the Seahawks went to play the Patriots and we could have gotten Brady
Mhm.
versus Rodgers.
Yep.
If you remember, not only did Green Bay lead the whole time, they muffed a freaking onside kick.
Yep.
If the Green Bay Packers recover the onside, we get a Brady Rodgers Super Bowl.
That's right. That's right.
That would have been fire. And
Yep.
what's crazy is the Packers and Patriots played that year, and the Packers beat them that year.
Wow. Wow.
I remember because Jordy Nelson had a slant route on Revis, and he took it to the house. But that just sticks in my head. But I do think he's top 5 quarterback. With that being said, my top 5 quarterbacks are like this. X, tell me how you feel about it. Number 1, Brady.
Yeah.
I don't need to explain anything else. Number 2, my guy, Peyton Manning. And I know Montana was great, 4 titles, but he had
You
Jerry
know how I
Rice.
feel about Peyton Manning. Even though that's your guy too, I love Peyton Manning. Nobody can tell me nothing about Peyton Manning.
Yeah. But the thing that hurts Montana for me is Steve Young won with the same Niners.
Right.
Peyton Manning took 4 head coaches to 4 different Super Bowls.
Okay. Okay. I got you.
That's what Steve Young proved he could win with that team. Like, no hate to Joe Montana because he's number 3 for me.
Okay.
Okay, but he's not better than Peyton when Steve Young does it too. Like he can't be. Number 4, I'm gonna go Elway. 2 rings, went to 5 Super Bowls. Strongest arm I've probably seen. Deadly accurate. All those, like, he reminds, like, right now, Josh Allen reminds me of his career because they wouldn't be there without him at all.
Right.
But Elway to finish his career with 2 titles, just like that did it for him. And number 5 would be Rodgers.
Okay, so
4
I have a
4
little
MVPs
pushback.
in a ring, that's hard to compete with.
And I know that it bothers you now, but no Patrick Mahomes.
Not yet, but he could be there. Not yet.
Okay, so you
I
don't
need a
think?
couple more MVPs, and I do think longevity matters a little bit. And we're also going to find out about Mahomes once Reed retires. Like, because think about it. Let's say Mahomes finishes his career with the 3 rings he has right now.
Right.
Like, I think people are going to view him a little differently if he does not win another one, especially without Reed.
But that would still give him more than Elway and Rodgers.
Yes, but I do think Mahomes has had more around.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm just asking. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah,
asking.
yeah. No, he had Tyreek Hill, he had Travis Kelce, he had Andy Reid. I think
I'll say
in
this.
this era, you give Josh Allen that. I think Josh Allen can do the same thing.
You know how I feel about Josh Allen, but I'll say this off of resume. I'm not just going off of just the eye test because you have to include resume. I mean, if we're just going off of the eye test, then I might have a completely different 5. But I agree with you. You know how much I like Elway, but I would put Mahomes over Elway.
Okay.
And I love Elway, but I would put Mahomes. You can't, what Mahomes has been able to do, I can't knock him because at the end of Elway's career, though he got the 2 rings, and this is no shock because people know if you buy Xbox Office, I've been one of the biggest Elway supporters for years on different social media sites. But Terrell Davis was a huge part in those 2 Super Bowls that he won.
He was.
So I would lean more towards Patrick Mahomes. But okay,
give me your top 5 while we have time.
I think you're on point. I would still put Montana over Peyton Manning only because Peyton Manning he's kind of like LeBron. I've always told you that. He's kind of like LeBron for me.
Right.
Like, though a lot of 4 head coaches, like you said, a lot of offensive coordinators, I get all that. but he's melted in some moments. That just is just for me. It's hard for me to put you over Montana when you melted in those moments. When Montana's been to the Super Bowl and never lost.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go Montana after Brady. Then I'll probably put oh, I'm gonna say as of now, I'm gonna put Peyton Manning over Mahomes, but I'm not mad if somebody puts Mahomes over Peyton Manning because Mahomes still has time to add to his legacy. And then I'm with you. Rodgers is 5 for me. Rodgers is 5. I've always, I love the Saints. I know everybody says, "Oh, why? Where's Drew Brees?" X. I just like Rodgers a little bit more. It's no knock to Drew Brees. Drew Brees is great. I probably would put Drew. I'll say this. I'll put Drew Brees over Elway too. I just think what Drew Brees was
Wow.
able to do in New Orleans. I know you had Sean Payton. I know you've seen it with Bo Nix, but in New Orleans, box office always messed with us about being the paper bag city. And he came there and he did that in New Orleans when we were not looked upon as a great franchise, and he really turned that franchise around. So yeah, Breeze is right there. I would just probably edge out Rodgers at 5.
I think the only thing that hurts Breeze, and I do think
No
Breeze is top
MVP.
10. Breeze is top 10 on my list. It's the MVPs, the lack
Right.
of MVPs. Like I think if Breeze, that's the only thing Breeze was missing on his career.
Right.
Just an MVP, and I think it gives him a big argument. I think the guy we might be talking about in 2 weeks is where do we put Stafford if he wins another ring?
Man, that's my boy too. That's my
Like,
boy, man.
like that, it's incredible, like how his career has gone. 12 years with Detroit, barely. I don't, I don't think they won a playoff game in Detroit, and then 5 years with the Rams, and he would have 2 rings. So we'll get to that, and he might win the MVP as well.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get to Stafford here soon, and it'll be an interesting topic. But that's it for the NFL in terms of the topics this week. Let's move on to our picks.
Okay.
Let me see how we did last week. I think I went 3-3. What's crazy is I started 3-0, and then I lost the last 3. But so X, you went 4-2.
Yeah, the Packers and the Eagles sold.
Yeah. And then C, Jasper, and Antonio all went 5-1.
Awesome.
So Antonio and Jasper are still tied after the regular season and the playoffs. So once I get
which one they missed? If you don't mind, I forgot which one did they miss?
Antonio actually predicted the Niners. That's the game Jasper missed. And then Antonio missed on the Chargers, and Jasper picked the Pats.
Because I didn't put out no what you call graphics for the Steelers and the.
I was the only one to pick Pittsburgh.
You was the only one to pick the Steelers. Okay.
Yeah. So Antonio and Jasper, we're gonna keep it going until one. Until one picks differently. So with that being said, Jasper's picks are not in. Obviously, C's picks are not in. Antonio sent me his. So let's start off. What we're going to do is we're just going to go with the games in order.
Okay.
First game of the weekend. We got the Buffalo Bills traveling to Denver. Who you got?
That's the hardest game for me to pick. I'm pretty set on everybody. I've been going back and forth on this one. I'm gonna use this model. I know you're not I know you're just a sports guy, but as of late in my older age, I've got into different shows, and I like Marvel. I like DC, and I just gotta believe Superman's gonna do it. I'm going with Buffalo, bro. I just think that Josh Allen, he's going to figure out a way to get it done against this Broncos team. It's going to be tough in the Mile High State, but Bruh, dang, that's the hard one. But I got Buffalo, bro. I'm gonna stick with it. I got Buffalo.
Well, Antonio went with Buffalo as well, and I'm going with Buffalo as well, just based off their quarterback. Like one thing about Josh Allen, he is a big game player.
Right.
He win or lose, he shows up. You will not get a lot of bad playoff games from Josh Allen. When I think about it, I don't remember if he's ever had necessarily a bad playoff game. He was once again great against Jacksonville. Game-winning drive. They had so much time. He just kept it easy, kept it cool, and he did it with 48-year-old Brandon Cooks, Dalton Kincaid, Knox. No disrespect to these.
My boy got hurt, man. Put some respect on his name too,
Your
man.
boy Gabe Davis, like these aren't superstars, right. and he keeps piling away. I believe in Josh Allen, and I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
Next one we got that night, third time this year, we got the 49ers traveling to Seattle. Antonio picked Seattle. Who you got?
Yeah, I got Seattle in this one, bro. I can't get out my mind what happened the last time they played in San Francisco. I just felt like I picked the 49ers in that matchup. Everything was in front of them to get to the Super Bowl going through San Francisco. And I felt like the Seahawks dominated that game. The Niners are still beat up. I got Seattle, bro.
Yeah. I picked Seattle that last time they played just because the Niners were beat up. I'm going to stick with that exact reasoning. I got Seattle because the Niners injuries have to catch up to them eventually. Right. If they get it again without Kittle now as well, that's ridiculous.
Bruh, they win this week. I think I'm picking them next week.
And if they win this game, they're going to get Fred Warner back for the NFC title game. Just ridiculous how they keep doing it. But I think I also feel like Sam Darnold is destined for a playoff win eventually.
Right.
I don't trust Sam Darnold. I won't trust him even after this week. But he has to win one damn playoff game. I mean, Come on. So it has to happen eventually. I got Seattle at home. They're the better team right now. They're also they've also rested ever since they played those Niners. So they're going to be ready. So I'll get Seattle.
Okay.
All right. Sunday, we got two more. Let's start off with the first one. We got the Houston Texans traveling to New England. Antonio picked New England. Who you got?
I love Drake May. I didn't love him when he was coming out, but I do love him now. I think the kid is special. But there's levels, bro. I got Houston. I think Houston goes on the road and beats New England. Houston's defense, I keep saying it, bro. They're ridiculous. Now, credit to New England. New England's not bad. New England's physical. It's in New England. So they can definitely win this game. This is the game I'm most looking forward to this weekend because I just think it's just going to be so physical. But I just have to lean more on Houston's defense because I think that we're looking at one of the best defenses, bro, in the history of the game. Once we're going to start to – right now it's still premature. I understand. I'm way early on it. But I think we're going to start to notice it this year and then into next year. Houston's defense is for real. I got Houston.
Okay. This is the hardest game for me to pick this weekend. Man, and I expect Nico Collins to be out with a concussion. Right. New England's missing Christian Gonzalez for a concussion, looks like as well. But I think with how bad Stroud has played, you can make the argument Aaron Rodgers outplayed him this weekend. Rodgers wasn't even great. But just based off how many mistakes Stroud kept making, I mean, it's ridiculous. I can't believe this is the same guy that we saw in his right. Year. But what's also confusing, that's how Deshaun Watson was in Houston.
Yep.
I don't know what happens in Houston after a year or two. Maybe they're going to the Houston strip clubs because I don't know because they do not look like the same
But there is weeks where like Stroud looks like the best quarterback in the league. So like, that's what's scary about Houston. If he plays up, but you're not beating them because their defense is too good. But it's if he plays up, it's not all the time.
I don't get it. I don't get it. And I think Nico Collins is huge for Stroud.
Absolutely, for sure.
And I think the Patriots are going to repeat what they did against Herbert.
Okay.
I think Houston defense is going to help Stroud out a lot. But I think the Patriots will really, really have Stroud continue to struggle. Unfortunately for the Houston defense, because I think they're the best defense league, I got the Patriots.
Okay.
I think at home, I think Drake May plays with confidence. I think they can score 2 touchdowns and win this game.
They can absolutely win with 2 touchdowns, and they scored 2 offensive touchdowns
similar to the Chargers game. Similar to the Chargers game. So I'll go with the Patriots. All right. And the last game of the weekend in the NFL, it's going to be a Sunday nighter. We got the Rams going to Chicago. Antonio picked the Rams on the road. Who you got? I know you didn't expect Chicago here. So what you got?
You know, if the Bears get down in this game, they're not coming back. They can maybe pull it off with Jordan Love. They're not going to be able to pull it off against Matthew Stafford and company. I got the Rams. The Rams was my Super Bowl pick before the season started. I kind of shot away from it just because I always get nervous. When I make a pick, I'm like, bruh, should I stick with it? Should I not stick with it? But Devontae Adams is healthy now. Puka's healthy. And it's Stafford. Stafford's on his legendary run right now, I think. I should have trusted it. And I got the Rams.
Okay. I think Chicago is building something, and they could represent the NFC in the Super Bowl here very soon.
Right.
Like, I'm talking within 3 years. That because I love their offense.
Right.
I mean, we're talking about Caleb Williams only getting better. DeAndre Swift is perfect for Ben Johnson.
No, he's looked way better, bro. Oh my God.
Yep. Swift is nice. They also have a power rushing game as well at times. Loveland has turned around. Loveland is just like Tyler Warren. We've got 2 studs in the future here at tight end.
Right.
Odunze is young. DJ Moore is good. Luther Burton looks good.
No, I think Luther Burton's going to be like their breakout star in fantasy next year.
I think DJ Moore might be out of there soon just because they picked up another guy.
I agree.
With all that being said, I think they're here a little early. I got the Rams. I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl. And Stafford played in Chicago all those years.
Right.
But he knows what to expect playing in that cold weather this time of year, and he bites them again. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think it's going to be a highly entertaining game, though.
Okay.
So, looks like me and Antonio agree on every single game, and you disagree with us on the Pats and Texans game, and then Jasper and C will send me something by Saturday.
Where is C? C, I want to come on the show, man.
He doesn't like that Cam Coleman went to Texas.
Oh my God! It is what it is at this point, bro.
All right, well, let's move on back to the national title game.
Yes, sir.
We've got Indiana traveling to Miami to play Miami. This is a national title nobody predicted in the preseason. Absolutely nobody.
Yeah, no, there's no way to predict this.
And I love it. Give me something different. I don't need to see Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State. Give me something new. I love this. Tell me your favorite storyline going into this national title game.
Oh, there's so many good ones in this particular. You know, I'm gonna say this, and I'm glad you brought up the storyline. What I hate that they're doing to Indiana, because I actually like Signetti in Indiana. Um, the fact that they're starting to put them, like, I feel like that premature talk is happening. I know you're gonna remember this when USC was getting ready to play Texas in that Rose Bowl game. All you heard, this may be the greatest team ever. This may be the greatest team in the history of college football. And now Indiana, because of the way they played in these two playoff games, which all credit to them, people are, I think, somewhat overhyping them now. And I don't like that for Indiana because you're basically saying that you're comparing them to the 2019 LSU Tigers, you're comparing them to the 2020 Alabama Crimson Tide, the '01 Miami Hurricanes. I'm sitting there like, bruh, like I know they're undefeated, but you're really just giving real credit. I think real credit to the last 3 wins that they got on their schedule. Like now you put them in that tier, and I don't know if that's a healthy thing. I saw Oklahoma before they played LSU in I think '03. I may be off a year. It was '03 when Nick Saban won.
Yeah,
Maybe '03. They were saying nobody can stop this offense. Nobody can stop this offense. This is the greatest offense in the world. I don't like when they do that. We saw it with the Patriots when they were undefeated. Oh, there's no way you can. When they start to hype teams up like this, we saw it with the Broncos as well. Hold on, look who pulled down. Hold on before I finish. My dog. What I'm seeing?
The champ is here. What's out?
Oh man, here we go. Well, I'm gonna let you talk in a second. Let me just finish getting this off. But we're talking about the national championship game real quick. He's talking about the question was exactly what box office?
What is your favorite or what is the best storyline heading into this natty?
Okay, so I'm going on my little spew right now, saying how I feel like they're hyping up Indiana so much. They're basically giving Miami no chance. And I don't like that for Indiana because Miami's a really good team. We've seen it this playoff run. But I think the biggest storyline is the U back or is Kirk Signetti the next dynasty in waiting. Like one of those storylines to me is because whoever wins, that's what's going to be. The U is back or there's a new sheriff in town in Kirk Signetti in Indiana who had a good transfer portal as well. We didn't talk about them. And then Nick Marsh, that was a good pickup for them at wide receiver. But yeah, I think that's the two biggest storylines: Kirk Signetti, the rise of Kirk Signetti, or the U is back. That's the biggest two lines to me.
Okay.
I would agree with that, but I think the secondary storyline is.
Go ahead, box office.
Man, I don't know what's going on with C tonight, bro. My favorite storyline is a simple one. I just love all the connections to Miami in this national title game.
Okay, I like that too.
You know, the national title game's in Miami. Miami's playing in it. We got Mario Cristobal, who's a Cuban American raised in Miami. Fernando Mendoza, a Cuban American raised in Miami. He literally said, my house was a mile from the campus. That's where I wanted to play. What's crazy is Mendoza's dad and Cristobal were teammates in high school. They were teammates in high school. His mom went to Miami. He also said he considered going to Miami when he was transferring from Cal. He said Cristobal was in contact with them. So I love all the connections to Miami. Whoever wins is going to have some special connection. Not to mention all the players that play for Miami. You know, Malachi Tony's from that area and so on. So I love the storyline of it being in Miami and all that connected. I think it's pretty cool. And what's crazy is technically you would think it's going to be a home game for Miami. What I found out was Indiana's got apparently the largest alumni in the country that is alive currently.
Wow.
So, and you saw what they did in Atlanta.
Yeah, that was crazy in Atlanta.
I would say that was 95% to 5 for Indiana. That was a home game in Miami. And I'm hearing that they are literally driving up the tickets for this national title game. Like they are scooping every single ticket they could. Mark Cuban, who went to Indiana, is funding a lot of it. He wants this national title. He wants this national title for his alumni, so I get it. So I just think also being in Miami is just this is just pretty crazy with all those things involved. So, Steve, what is your favorite storyline or your thing about this national title game specifically?
It's really, I think the biggest storyline is going to be Fernando Mendoza coming back home and possibly winning a championship about a couple of blocks from where he grew up at. I think that's probably the biggest storyline, and that's what they're going to make it. That's leading up to the game. That's all you're going to really hear about. And I like what you said. It should be a home game for Miami, but it just doesn't work like that in these big games. You would think that, but most of the time the locals can't afford those tickets.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not a member. It's not like they're going to a University of Miami game, even though they're playing. No, you're going to the national championship game. So you're going to have national championship game prices. Just like, for instance, the Super Bowl was in New Orleans. Not last year, but well, yeah, was it? No, that wasn't last year. Year before last, and everybody wanted Lil Wayne to be the halftime performer. And I was like, yeah, it makes sense for him to do it in New Orleans, but most of the crowd wasn't going to be New Orleans people. They couldn't afford Super Bowl tickets, bro. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? So just because it's in Miami doesn't mean it's going to be a predominantly Miami crowd. Now, they do got big money in Miami, so I know they're going to have a lot of people there, all the high rollers, Luther Campbell, Michael Irvin going to be in there. Lord, I just pray that he don't go too far
Come on, man.
if they win this game, bro. I pray that they don't go too far, and the temptation is not too much to where he go full Michael Irvin in his heyday with all that cocaine, man. Because his heart can't take it no more. This man is in his 60s. I know he's in phenomenal shape, but you can't see your heart. So, I think that's another storyline. Michael Irvin on that sideline, if they are winning or if they are losing, the cameras are gonna be on him. So that's gonna be another storyline you got there. But Fernando Mendoza making it back as an Indiana Hoosier to play for the national championship a few blocks from where he grew up at. I think he said he used to go play like intramural basketball or something there.
And his mom
And
went to Miami.
yeah. I mean, but you know how all kids play like Rick Ball and all that. He said they used to
Right.
go to the Miami and play and all that. So, and you know what, bro? I tried not to like. I don't know why I was trying not to like Mendoza, but I was. But he's such a likable little guy, bro. He's such a likable little guy, and I love the fact that he put God first. Anytime he's talking about something, anytime they're interviewing him out there, the first thing he does is gives all the credit to God like he's supposed to, man. And like I said, it's like I think that most people want Indiana to win because it's Indiana, and man, come on, man, Indiana's never won a national championship in football, and how cool would that be for them to get one? And other people, probably people around my age, we're more leaning toward Miami just because the U being back, like X was saying. You know, we like the nostalgic feel of the U being good, and we know what type of party that is when Miami wins. When Miami is good, it's always good for college football. So I think that we got. I don't think we lose if it's not neither one of them your team. I don't think we lose no matter who wins. I think as long as we get a good game out of this, and I do think it's going to be a good game. After watching these college football playoffs, I think Miami is the only team that was in the playoffs that could actually give them a game. I think that they got it right this year. I think the best two teams are playing for the national championship. And if you had asked me that before the playoffs, I wouldn't have said the same thing. But Indiana has proven themselves, and Miami has proven themselves a formidable opponent, if I could say the least.
Yeah, see, right before you came on, I said this is a national title nobody saw coming. Literally, nobody predicted this in the preseason at all.
Oh, absolutely not.
But I love it though. I like I said, we've seen Alabama, we've seen Georgia, we've seen Ohio State. I'm good. Give me something new, and I love it. It's a nice change. We're gonna have a new champion, and we're also gonna have a new coach that wins it. With that being said, let's move on. Miami beat Texas A&M on the road. They beat Ohio State, and then they beat Ole Miss. Indiana had a bye week. They blew out Alabama, and they blew out Oregon. Who's been more impressive in these playoffs?
Bruh,
Well, go ahead, Steve.
this Indiana team, they've looked so impressive for their last 3 games. They've looked like world beaters, bro. It looks like nobody's even on their level, and I do think it has a lot to do with all of them being grown men playing a bunch of kids. You know what I mean? So, I was just talking to somebody at the game. Somebody came up to me at the game. He said, "Man, I always watch the NBS show, man." So shout out to Rob, man. Appreciate you tuning in, bro.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. But he said, I was just talking to him about it. I said, bro, the way I look at it, a 25-year-old 3-star equals an 18, 19-year-old 5-star. That equals out. So, and I think the 25-year-olds are proving that that's better too. You know what I mean? So, Signetti is showing that he's the premier coach in college football right now. If he ends up pulling out this national championship, I don't think anybody's going to be able to argue that he's the best coach in college football right now. I don't see how anybody could put up an argument, a valid argument, considering what he's done over there in 2 years in Indiana. But I'm impressed by it. What I don't like what people are doing. This Indiana team is really, really good, but please stop comparing them to the 2019 Tigers. It's not. It's levels, bro. It's levels, man. These guys are really good, but that's elite. That's the best. So you can't compare them. You can't compare them, man. 50 touchdowns by Burrow to what 30 for Mendoza.
Oh no, Mendoza's at 41, bro.
He's at 41. Okay, well,
Burrow
still
has 60.
60.
Burrow has
Burrow had 60. My bad. 60. My bad. 60. It's 60. And Mendoza's played more games too. But but anyway, man, I'm saying it's levels. It's cool to compare, and I know everybody wants to compare. But I think you compare more the 2019 Tigers. You compare them to those 2001, 2002 Miami Hurricanes. I think that's a more fair comparison than this one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go the Indiana LSU route or the Indiana 01 Miami route. They haven't won it yet either, so that would look very ridiculous if they don't win it at Monday. So, but yeah,
7-3-9 Warriors.
Yeah, so regardless, though, I think it's a good team, but they're not all-time great. Okay. In terms of so your answer is Indiana. C. Is that what you're saying?
Well, who am I picking?
No.
who's more-
The topic was who's been more been more impressive in the playoffs so far. The Miami.
Oh, Indiana. Oh, Indiana by far.
Okay, X. What do you think?
I disagree. I think the role Miami had to take to get there. C thought A&M was one of the best teams in the SEC. They went on the road and beat SEC team in A&M in the 12th man. Then they followed that up and beat the team that most people, I'm not saying you guys, most people had winning it all. I know Indiana beat them as well. Miami beat them by more. That's just the facts. At the end of the day, that's what happened. Miami beat Ohio State, the overwhelming favorite to win the national championship on a neutral site. Then they followed it up with all the animosity towards Lane Kiffin and LSU and Trinidad Chambers balling out this entire playoff. Box office even said with Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman winner, the number 1 overall pick in the playoffs, Trinidad Chambers has been playing the best quarterback. That's what you said, and I'm not disagreeing with them. Trinidad Chambers has been balling, and Miami beat them as well. I just think that the road that Miami took to get here is more impressive because even though I did say Alabama, I went with the 5 stars. Alabama showed us this year that they lost to Florida State. They wasn't, they did beat Georgia, but how impressive was that win? And then when I look at Oregon, who did Oregon really beat this year that made us think to ourselves that Oregon was a great team? That's no disrespect to Oregon. That's just the truth. Oregon didn't really beat anybody. So I just think that what's more impressive to me is Miami. I think that if Indiana had to go through their road, it might have been different to beat Ohio State for the second time.
I think if Indiana had to go through their road, they would have beat the hell out of every one of them people that they played, bro. Indiana, hey, bro,
they wouldn't have beat the hell out of Ohio State. No, they wouldn't have.
Bro, I believe that they beat the hell out of Ohio State already.
They beat Ohio State because Ohio State field goal kicker missed the kick.
Bro, they beat the hell out of them boys, man.
They did not beat them. I don't know what you watched.
But they did hold them in 10, though.
They did. They did hold them 10. They did. But I'm saying they didn't beat the hell out of them. We're not going to do that.
But the game wasn't 13-10 is what I'm saying. The game, even the score did not represent what we saw. You gonna tell me that was a close game that you saw?
I absolutely thought Ohio State could have won that game. I don't know what you saw.
Bro, that last quarter was that told me everything I needed to know, bro.
Mendoza hit was that the time was they were trying to get a stop Ohio State. It took a throw over the shoulder for Mendoza to hit it perfectly to end out that game.
Right, he did it.
Facts. I ain't me making it up.
Bro, and I'm saying, and he did it. He did it. Ohio State going into that game, they were an overwhelming favorite going into that game. Am I right?
Yes.
And all Indiana did was show up and slap them boys around and came out with the victory. What did they win by?
I think it was 3.
I thought it was 3-2.
It's 13-10.
13-10.
It was 13-10.
And Ohio State missed the field goal that could have tied the game.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. It was 13. But it was a low scoring game. But when I tell you, it looked like they were beating up on it. To me, I didn't think Ohio State had a chance in that fourth quarter. I knew the game was over.
I don't know what you saw.
Bruh,
I'll add this. I watched Oregon do that same thing to Ohio State last year in the regular season, and then they had to play Ohio State again. And I know what Ohio State did the second time around.
Hey, bruh, Dan Lannon is no Cursignetti.
I agree. You won't get an argument from me on that one.
And I'm telling you, Signetti, bro, it's something about that dude, bro. It's something about it. I showed my wife at the end of the game. She was watching the end of the game with me, the Oregon game, and I asked her. No, it was going into halftime. I asked her because they interviewed Dan Lanning and they interviewed Signetti, and I said, which one of those teams, which one of those coaches do you think is winning the game? And she said the one who was smiling because Lanning was smiling, and I said wrong. I said the one who ain't have a smile on his face and was looking mean. Yeah, that's what she said. She said the one who was looking mean. I said yeah. I said he's there for business. He don't care nothing about none of that. I said they winning and they're winning. They're beating the brakes off these boys, and he don't have time to play. He's going in there and he's treating them like the job ain't over. Y'all ain't done nothing, and that's why, like I said, they call him a psycho. That man is a psycho, bro. He,
I love
he, yeah, exactly. And I look at it, I said, I was so surprised because at the end of the game, we were watching it again, and I said, look at him. And like they were interviewing him, and he surprised me. He kind of made me look foolish because he made a little. The lady asked him. She said, so I know you're probably thinking about your next game. You're gonna go home and start preparing for your next game or whatever. And that's probably all you're thinking about right now. He said, nah, to be honest, I'm just thinking about going to get a beer. And he started laughing. I was so surprised. Like I don't think I'd ever seen that man laugh, bro. And I said, like that's why I like him. He's really into this. This is not an act. He's for real. And I think that he let his guard down for that 1 second, and it was cool to see. But I think he was right. He got that beer and he turned some film on. I think that's how I feel like he did. And I believe if they had end up playing anybody in these playoffs, he has the players, and all he has to do is put them in a position to make a play. And he's the best coach out there doing that right now.
As far as him, I agree with you. I can tell you, and I was sitting this on live air, and I love Signetti. I think that Ohio State would have beat them if they played again. That's just me being honest.
No, bro.
I'm just telling you what I think. That game, nobody scored in the fourth quarter. That's why I don't understand. I just looked it up. I wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping. Indiana didn't score. They were down at halftime to Ohio State, too. The third quarter was the difference. That's it.
Well, it doesn't matter now, but
it won't.
To me, I used to hate. I used to hate Coach Saban when I was a little kid growing up because he was never happy. And if I was a kid right now, I would hate Signetti. But the older I get, the more I love that thing.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm here to win, bro. F all this other nonsense. I'm here to win. I'm not here to play cool. None of that, And I love how one of those female reporters, I think weeks ago, said something to Signetti, and she was like, are you surprised by your team? Something along those lines. And he said, why should we be surprised? Because we're Indiana. So I love that. And, shout out to Signetti, man. Last year when he was talking that talk, I said, bruh, he's going to get himself in trouble because teams are going to put this, out there. And I think teams have put it out there, and those teams begin their ass whip regardless. His first ever appearance at an Indiana basketball game when he got hired, he literally said, because Indiana's biggest rival is Purdue, he said, F Purdue, and then he says, in Michigan and Ohio State too.
Yeah.
And this dude is whipping them now. So it's crazy. I love it. But in terms of who's been more impressive so far in the playoffs, no doubt Indiana. That does not mean Miami has not been impressive. We saw Miami was a legit team early on in the season when they beat Notre Dame and other teams. But Indiana, Brad, at the end of the day, they're not 25 years old. They are 22, 23, but they are 3 stars. We're waiting for them to fail to say, up. We knew they weren't national title worthy. They've been whipping ass. They destroyed Alabama.
They
Destroyed. Imagine me telling you 5 years ago that Indiana is going to destroy Alabama in 5 years. Then they destroy Oregon, and not only did they destroy them, they beat them twice this year. Not easy to do, and I just think how easy they've made it look. My answer is Indiana. I think C's driving to the national title game because he finally got out of his car.
You hear Mendoza was out.
But let's go on to the actual game and let's compare some rosters here, some stats, and so on, and who you give the advantage to. You know, everybody talks about Indiana's 22-year-olds. Carson Beck is in like his 18th year in college. I saw some crazy thing, and I'm sure y'all saw it. When he was a freshman at Georgia, Malachi Tony was 12 years old.
Yeah.
Like, bruh. So, who do you give the advantage to at quarterback in this matchup?
I'm going Fernando Mendoza. It's not no knock to Carson Beck. I just feel like Mendoza, he's done it all year. Carson Beck has had moments, i.e. the Louisville game, where you're like, what the hell are you doing, Carson Beck? So yeah, I'm gonna go Mendoza just because I feel like he's been more consistent. And he's the Heisman winner. You gotta go with him.
Bruh, I'm not going against Mendoza, but I think that Beck this sounds stupid. I'm not going against Mendoza, but I am. I think Beck, with his big game experience, I think he may have the advantage here.
Wow, okay.
Wow, okay. I'm shocked by that too.
I'm gonna go with Mendoza. I just think he's more consistent. It's just that simple. The 2 games Carson Beck lost this year were pretty much on him, and Mendoza just instead of being a little consistent in these bigger matchups, he just gets better in these matchups. Mendoza impresses the more the season goes. So I'm gonna go with Mendoza here. All right.
Hold on. Let me do this. I'm gonna remove this one, see real quick, and I'm gonna add this one. There we go.
All right. Who do you give the advantage to with the running backs?
I'm going Miami for sure. And it's no knock because I like Indiana's running backs. I like actually both of their running backs. But I just think Fletcher, bro, he always makes the big run. Always Miami. He finds a way. Even when you know he's gonna get the ball, you still can't stop him. And then when they take him out, they put Brown in, and he does his thing. Yeah, I'm going Miami in this one, but it is close. Who you going with? Who you going with? C?
I'm going Miami. I'm going Miami just because the running game itself looks better. Looks better to me. For I don't think either one of them have an elite running back. If that makes any sense. But I do believe that the Miami running attack is better than Indiana's right now. When I think of Indiana, all I think about is the passing attack. Fletcher. That's his name, huh?
Yeah.
Mark Fletcher, yeah.
Yeah, Fletcher. He's been solid all year for them. He's been solid all year for you. And when, like you said, when you think of a big run, that's all I think about. I think Miami. I haven't seen the Indianas. I forget his name.
Him being black.
Him being black. They kind of use them both.
Yeah, they both nice to me. I like both of them.
Yeah, but I don't remember any big runs that I could think about. Just off the dump. And so I'll give it to Miami.
Okay. I think Mark Fletcher is the best running back in this game. However, I like Indiana's core more. If Kalon Black runs for 40 yards in this national title game, they're going to have two running backs with 1,000 yards. Oh. So shout out to Kalon Black, also from Virginia. He was in JMU and followed Signetti. So Kalon Black, I mean, the two runs I remember are him breaking out against Indiana or against Alabama. I mean, they were only like 30, 40 yards, but it was part of the blowout. Like, soon as he busted those and ran to touchdown, you knew, okay, Alabama's done here. I'm going to go Indiana because they might have two 1,000-yard rushers. So Indiana's had a good running game while Mendoza gets a lot of credit. A lot of that running game sets him up nicely. All right, let's go to the receivers, and I'm also going to obviously count the tight ends here as well.
Okay, I'm going with, man, this is almost a push for me because I love Malachi Tony. I think Malachi Tony is so dynamic, but what's going to push me over is Surratt. I just think that Surratt just finds a way for Indiana to make big. He reminds me somewhat of Mike Evans at Texas A&M. He has a lot of Mike Evans in him. You need a play, he goes make it. So I'm talking about a fingernail over Miami's score because I like Miami's score too. I thought they played extremely big versus Ole Miss. But I'm going to go with Indiana in that one.
And we're talking about wide receivers
and tight ends.
Like I said, when I think about Indiana, I think about the passing game. Surratt's been good all year with them. And what's his name? EJ Williams,
Cooper.
Omar Cooper, EJ Williams, and Charlie Becker has been very good too.
Yep. Cooper's a junior, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I think, and the other two are seniors.
Yeah.
I think that their passing game is better. Like I said, even though I gave the edge to Miami, I just think that the experience that they have at wide receiver, even though Miami has Malachi Tony, and he's probably better. He's probably a better target, a more known target than the Indiana receivers. But the size of the Indiana receivers, I like that. And I just see them running away from people a lot, especially in these playoffs. So I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with the Indiana. I'll give them the edge.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree here. I like Indiana. 4 guys have consistently got it done. I mean, from EJ Williams to Elijah Surratt to Omar Cooper to Charlie Becker. None of them are diva wide receivers either. Like, when one of them scores, you could tell the others are happy. Like, they're hyped. And during these playoffs, they've had multiple guys step up. I think Charlie Becker's been huge in these playoffs. But Miami, they have a good receiving corps too. The LSU transfer CJ Daniels was huge in the Ohio State game. Keelan Marion was huge in this Ole Miss game.
Yep.
And then Malachi Tony's been their best one all year. So they have a good receiving corps too, but I'll take Indiana slightly. All right. And how about offensive line?
I got Miami. Even though that's no knock to Indiana, I think Indiana got a really good offensive line. I just think Miami, bro, they impose their will on people, and I'm going Miami.
I got Miami. I got Miami. Their offensive line. Who's the guy that he's projected a first round pick?
Francis.
Francis.
Yeah.
What's his name? Mo something.
Maligo. I don't know. I mean, I'm not the best as far as pronouncing names, but
yeah, he's the right tackle. The only reason why I started paying attention to him specifically
he's a monster.
Yeah. And guess what? Keep that monster away from my Saints, bro. If we draft his ass, I'm gonna be pissed off. I don't want that damn monster, bro. and I started paying attention to him. But I will. You thought I went crazy when we drafted an offensive lineman this year, bro. If we draft another offensive lineman this year, bro, dog, I might actually pass out, bro. I see him and he's good, and he's got to be good. He's going to be a first rounder easy, but if he goes at 8 to the Saints, I'm gonna flip my shit, bro. I'm gonna go crazy, bro. But I said all that to say I got Miami's offensive line better.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. They've given up less sacks and they've given Carson Beck plenty of time. Carson Beck had that game-winning touchdown against Ole Miss. That was all offensive line. That was all offensive. Yeah, I'm gonna go in Miami. All right, defensive line.
Miami. Dog. They're getting after the quarterback, bro. If you watch these playoffs, if you watch this year, and that's no knock again, Indiana's defense is legit, but I'm going D-line for sure, Miami.
I'm trying to think of the guy's name.
Who made?
Ruben Bain, Mesidor.
Yeah. He's a damn animal, bro. He's an animal. Now, I wouldn't mind seeing us mess with that. First line in the first round. The way he penetrates and getting that backfield, it's like he's in the backfield every play, bro. And you know, just a dog. You got a defensive lineman like a dog like that. And it's not just him. I don't know the rest of the guy's name, but that defensive line has probably been the best defensive line this whole playoff run. You can see it. They gave Chambliss hell last week. And you know, they did the same thing in Texas A&M. It was crazy. I give it to Miami.
Yeah, I'm going to give it to Miami. Miami's strength is their defensive line. That's the strength of this team. That's what they do best. Mesidor is already double-digit sacks. Ruben Bain could be there if he wasn't doubled a lot. Indiana doesn't have any double-digit sack guys. They even lost a guy named Stephen Daly. I don't know if y'all saw. When they beat Ohio State, he was celebrating with the fans and landed wrong. And he's been out ever since, and they still made it to the national title game without him. So, but the strength is Miami's D-line.
And then, to be honest, I don't know who's better, Bain or Mesidor. Mesidor has better numbers, but you can make an argument for either one of them because Bain has a motor that don't stop too, bro.
Right.
And I will say, I think Bain is the better NFL prospect. Bain did not do anything against Ole Miss. Like, you forgot he played. Mesidor made some plays.
Yeah, he did.
I literally did not hear Bain's name once in that game, even though he was great in the previous two. But just that game specifically, I don't know where he was. All right, linebacking core.
I'm gonna give it to Indiana. Give it to Indiana, bro. I think all of these matchups are so close, but Indiana's defense is legit from top to bottom. But I'll give them the edge on linebacker.
Linebacker. See, I don't know. I just think defensively, I give the edge to Miami overall,
I'm not mad at that.
and I yeah, I give it to Miami. Like I said, I don't know if it's their defensive scheme or it's actually the players that are just better, but it looks like it looks like their whole defense is around the ball for every tackle, and the linebackers are flying around at all times. So I give them an advantage probably on everything defensively.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Indiana here. I like their running back their linebacker that's a star is Relia Hardy, who actually entered the season with Signetti last year in Indiana. He leads them in sacks and tackles. He's been a beast. So I'm gonna roll with Hardy. All right, go with DBs next.
I got Miami, bro, and that's no knock to what Indiana brings to the table. But I just like Miami. All four, everybody in the secondary, I think is legit. I think Miami's gonna give Indiana problems with their secondary. So I got Miami. Of course, their D line helps them though.
Yeah, when you have an awesome defensive line, it makes the DB's job a lot easier. Um, yeah. With that being said, I'm going with Miami. Like I said, I think I'm gonna go everything defensively Miami, just because I love the way they play. They fly to the ball, and they've been good. They've had some very good coverages on these receivers that they faced throughout the whole playoffs as well. I haven't seen anybody just getting burnt. Miami getting burnt. You know what I mean? They play. I was looking at them when they played Ole Miss, and they played one single high safety, um, and he cheats over toward their best receiver on the field. And I honestly think that's the best way you play on a defense. When you have that one single high safety, you cheat over to the best receiver on every play, and that's what they were doing at the end to Ole Miss, and I think that's what sealed the game for them because I think their corners can handle pretty much any receivers that they're up to pretty much man to man, and that safety cheating helps them. So I like them. I like Miami DBs.
Box office.
Didn't realize I was on
There
mute.
you go.
I'm gonna go with Indiana simply because I feel like they take advantage of their um, matchups and balls that come to them more often. Miami dropped hella on
They do.
defense. Ole Miss game.
Yeah.
Obviously, one game doesn't define you, but
Right.
I feel like anytime Indiana has a chance, they take advantage. And I really, really like their corner, D'Angelo Pons. He's been a really good player for them all year. I just think they're more sound, and I'm going to go with Indiana. All right, let's go to special teams.
All right. So here's the deal about special teams. I do trust Indiana's kicker more than I trust Miami's kicker. I'll be the first one to tell y'all that. But I'm still taking Miami because of Malachi Tony. I just think Malachi Tony on a punt return, he can change the game. He's that special. He gets the ball in his hands. It's dangerous. It's kind of like, I don't want to call him Devin Hester because I don't think ironically, Devin Hester went to the U, but he's a game changer, bro. If he gets the ball in his hands and he gets room, he can change the game. So I'm going to, even though I would take Indiana's kicker over Miami's, I think Malachi Tony is the difference. So I'm going to take the U.
The only thing about that, I'm going to take Indiana simply really because of exactly what you said. The kicker's better.
Right.
Malachi Tony, he's the best he's the best special teams player in this game, but he can be neutralized. Just don't kick to him.
That's
You know what
true.
I'm saying? So, and when you think about a strategy like that, you think about who's the coach. You think Signetti gonna really kick to Malachi Tony, bruh? I think that's gonna be neutralized, and then you got to go. If it comes down to the kickers, which I think this game actually might be that close, and it come down to the kickers. I'm going with Indiana's kickers. I forget his name, but he's I got him. I seen Miami kicker miss field goal. Probably in every playoff game he missed one, didn't he?
Yep.
At least one. Yeah. So I'm going with the other guy.
I wanted to ask you that, Ivan. Is there a kicker with he's not, is he Croatian?
He is, and I was just about to say it. What's so crazy is my brother and I were watching an Indiana game last year, and we noticed it, and immediately looked him up, and he is Croatian actually, and the dude's a stud. He's been their main kicker 2 years, and he's missed 2 kicks.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Carter Davis for Miami has struggled in big moments. And I think C hit it on the head. Like Malachi Tony, they don't have to kick to him. But you will have to kick a field goal eventually in this game.
Yeah.
Now, the good thing for Carter Davis, he's used to that stadium. And he's used to those lights.
No matter. He's not good, bro.
Right, but this is a huge moment. This is not a regular Miami game. Right. So I'm going to go with the Croatian. He's been very consistent.
No, you?
Niko Radicic. He's been nice. I think, and I'm rooting for him, obviously, in this game, and he's got a big job to do. So I think the special teams goes to Miami. Indiana. All right. Last one. Coach.
Shout out to Mario Cristobal, man. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. Hey, listen. I'm not knocking you because I think if you pull this off, bro, everybody got to give you your flowers for the road that you went down. But there's no way in hell I'm saying I'm going to take you over Kirk Signetti. Mm-hmm. Kirk Signetti, bro, if I'm an NFL team right now, I'm calling him. I don't even care. I don't care if he's a college coach. I got to see. I got to at least talk to the man and see if there's a possibility you would even consider coming to the NFL. And maybe he is just a college coach, similar to Nick Saban. But, bro, what he's done for Indiana, bro, Indiana. We're going to say it one more time. Indiana, bro. If you're an NFL team and you don't call Kirk Signetti, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Like, I don't care. Like, I know it's like he's not doing this in the NFL, but the success he's had in Indiana, nobody's had at Indiana. So, yeah, for sure. It doesn't matter who would be in this moment. Just because it's at Indiana, he's doing it, I would give him the nod. And that's even in front of Kirby Smart at this point.
Hey, man, I wouldn't care who was across the field against him.
Except for Nick Saban.
If Saban was over there in all his glory, I would go with Signetti, bro.
Wow!
Right now,
hey, bro, we didn't get a meme with you saying that. No matter if Saban's across the field.
Right now, man, I'm going with Signetti, bro. Although Cristobal, I think this will be a great story if he's able to pull it off. Like you said, the road he's gone to get here, because he was on his way to being a joke. You know what I mean? He was on his way to being a joke after running the ball a few years back. And the fact that he's turned you around and got them in the national championship game, I think, 2 years later, is a testament to how good of a coach he is. Because he was a joke to me. I'll say that for sure. You know, he had the Heisman Trophy. He didn't have the Heisman Trophy winner last year. He had the number 1 draft pick in a draft last year on his team, and they didn't get this far.
Right. You know that's a bad boy out there, too, in Tennessee.
So I mean, I'm just saying, and you come right back, you get another QB out of the portal, showing that you know what you're doing when you go and hitting this portal, and y'all reach the national championship game. And like we said earlier, this is the matchup nobody expected. I don't think anybody would have picked Miami to get to the national championship game. When the moment they said they got Carson Beck, I think that wasn't on anyone's radar. But yeah. So I mean, I'm happy for him. But like I said, man, I wouldn't take nobody over Cignetti right now.
So both of these guys are arrogant and cocky, but they both backed it up.
Right.
But for some reason, Crystal Ball just doesn't do it for me.
Oh, I'm about to say, I thought you was going to say you was going to pick Crystal Ball. I'm like, what?
No, I don't. There's something I don't like there, and I can't explain what it is. Sometimes I don't like his attitude, but I do like Cignetti's attitude. And I think because Cignetti has a funny way of saying things, and his phrasing is better than Crystal Ball's. Crystal Ball's comes off in what we would say in Croatian, and it doesn't come off the same in English when I say it. Crystal Ball's, he's got this like villager behavior sometimes, and I don't like it. It's like that guy from the village that's never been to the city, like he doesn't know how to act. so I'm gonna in terms, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's about actual X's and O's, and I gotta go Cignetti. I think we should criticize Saban a little more because, sure, Cignetti was under him for 4 years as a receivers coach. It's not the same. But Saban, if you knew Cignetti was the real deal, you should have pushed him for Alabama to hire him. Right? Now, it was 2007 and 2011. Long time ago.
But they didn't even hire nobody that was within Alabama. Even to this current day, like they went out and got somebody from Washington.
Maybe they just didn't maybe they just didn't ask Saban, but I feel like if Saban knew Cignetti was legit, he should have pushed for him.
Right.
But I gotta go Cignetti though. Come on, man. They are 3 stars, and I know they're seniors, but at the end of the day, when we do our draft analysis here come April, besides Mendoza, we're going to have mainly Miami guys ahead of Indiana guys going to the draft. So seniors or not, like these guys are projected better pros. So, it is what it is. So I think Cignetti, this is all Cignetti. So I got to go Cignetti. All right. With that being said, let's get to our picks. Like we said earlier, it's in Miami. And Miami's been balling as the underdog, and they're the underdog again. I can't believe when I pull up FanDuel that Indiana is 8.5-point favorites. That is insane to me, but some people are going to tell you that's right after the way they've played. So who we got? Tell me a score and tell me the X factor and the reasoning.
All right. Who Antonio got? Indiana?
Antonio's got Indiana.
Okay.
Jasper hasn't gotten back to me.
All right. Well, I didn't say it when the year started because I thought Penn State would be here. I was wrong about Penn State, but I was right about a Big Ten team being here. And it's Kirk Cignetti in Indiana. When the playoffs started, and I watched everything this year in college football, one thing stood out to me, bro, was when the Miami Hurricanes played their best football. I thought they were the best team in the country. And we said that in the middle of the season. Miami upsets Indiana in this game, and they win the national championship game. Malachi Tony, I think he will make a play. That's why I picked him as far as special teams. I think that the teams that I've seen Indiana struggle against these past 2 years, even though they won all their games this year and they lost only 2 games last year, is teams that are physical. The Iowas came down to the very end. Penn State, very end. Last year, Notre Dame, very physical team. Ohio State last year, and then Ohio State this year. Close game this year. Last year was pretty much a blowout. Miami's physical, bro. And that's why I picked them to beat Ohio State, because of their offensive line, their defensive line. They're the type of team that just punches you in the mouth, and you have to do something about it. They're not going to, be afraid of what Kirk Cincinnati brings to the table. I think the senior, I think C was on to something with Carson Beck over Mendoza, because Carson Beck is very experienced. But when the smoke settles, it doesn't take away from Kirk Cincinnati. He's still great. But at this point right now, he just don't have the talent level. And I know C keeps saying 5 stars, 3 stars are better than 5-star guys that, are 18. Malachi Tony's 18, but the rest of those boys ain't 18. That's some grown men in Miami.
Worse than better.
Right. So that's some grown men. Yeah, I got the Hurricanes, bro. I think the Hurricanes punch them in the mouth. I think they get their get back. I know it's not against Ohio State. They already beat Ohio State. But last time they lost in the championship game, there was a freshman by the name of Maurice Claret. Well, this time, Miami has the freshman named Malachi Tony. They get it done, but in a fire game. I'm talking fire. I'm saying 24-20. Miami.
All right. This game, bro, this game been giving me fits on actually thinking about who could pick this game. I mean, who's going to win this game. The past few years, Ohio State last year, Michigan the year before, you kind of knew going in who was going to win these games. This game, I don't know. I don't know. But if I had to pick somebody, well, I do have to pick somebody. Looking at them going into this game, I think all the superficial stuff doesn't matter. The storylines, and those coming back home, Miami playing at home. I don't think those things will matter. What I do agree with X about is the physicality. The physicality of Miami on defense. I like that, bro. And even though Indiana has looked like world beaters, just destroying everybody in this playoffs on their way over there, Miami has looked very strong in all of their games. They look like the more physical team against everybody that they played. Ole Miss matched up a little bit better, but Miami just out physical them at the end. So with that being said, damn, man.
You still want to pick Indiana?
I want to pick them because I keep thinking about Crystal Ball, stupid ass, bro. But man, I'm gonna go with Miami, bro.
Wow, I thought I was gonna be the only one to take the Hurricanes.
Defense wins championship is the old mantra, and like I said, I like Miami's defense overall at every level better than Indiana. In score, I'm gonna go. It's gonna sound crazy. I'm gonna go lower than you.
I can see it.
I'm gonna go 17-14 Miami.
I can see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I agree fully with what C said in the beginning. Georgia versus TCU, Michigan versus Washington, Ohio State versus Notre Dame, I thought were easy national titles to predict. I picked all 3 of those right. I think all y'all did as well. This one, bro, I've been going back and forth for a week now. I cannot make up my mind, honestly, and I didn't have an answer for you until now. I do think the line is ridiculous. I think everybody in the world should bet Miami plus 8.5. I think that's free money. I'll be shocked if Indiana blows them out. One thing I like about Miami during this run, they match the other team's greatness. Like it's in the fourth quarter down to the wire, make a play, and they've made the plays. Indiana, the issue I have with Indiana, the only issue is they haven't been enough close games. They haven't been a close game in the playoffs. I want to see Mendoza when he's losing. I know we saw it in the regular season. I want to see it against Miami. I want to see it against the Georgias and whatever. He did it against Ohio State in the Big Ten title game. Good for him. But it's the playoffs. Like in the Big Ten title game, you still know you still have a season ahead, even if you lose. This is do or die. This is personal for Mendoza playing at home. It's personal for a lot of Miami players like Tony playing at home. I am gonna root for I'm gonna root for Indiana simply because of the underdog story, what Indiana's become overnight. Yeah, so I'm rooting for them just because I love the story. But at the end of the day, no matter who I root for, I gotta trust what I've seen in close games. I'm going Miami.
Wow. I'm so shocked at this point.
I just like them in close games. I feel like they play so well when the chips are down. And like I said, it might come down to those special teams. Like it might come down to a Miami kicker making one and maybe he does it. I think it's lower scoring, higher scoring than y'all thought, but lower scoring overall. I think this game is going to be fire. I think it's going to go down to the wire. Signetti is going to win a national title, but just not yet. Miami 24-23.
Wow.
I think it's going to be a classic.
I think it's going to be a classic too. I think it's going to be a classic. And also, since we all agree, I know that Indiana's going to win this game.
I'm shocked. I thought for sure I was going to be the only one on the show tonight picking Miami. For a second, I thought about Indiana, but I was like, bro, they're hyping Indiana too much. They're gassing them too much, which rightfully so. They've looked great in these playoffs. But all I keep playing in my head is USC, the greatest team ever, and then Texas goes out there and smacks them. Oklahoma has the greatest offense, and then LSU goes out there and smacks them. I just keep replaying that. Even when you go back to Miami versus Ohio State, this Miami team can't be beat. And Ohio State goes out there. Now, granted, might have been a bad call. I get it. But they won. Ohio State won the game. I don't like when you talk that pre-talk puppy. Stop saying they better than LSU 2019. That's where I'm at.
I just want to see them in a close game, and I think the defensive line is going to get it done and put enough pressure on Mendoza in a close game, something he hasn't felt in a while.
Right. If they lose, though, I will say what concerns me about Miami is if Miami has one of those games like they had against SMU in Louisville. If Carson Beck just starts throwing picks here and there, because you know Kirk Cignetti's team is going to be disciplined.
Yeah.
You know that.
I think if Beck throws 2 interceptions in the first half, it's going to be a rout.
Oh, yeah.
Like
if he throws 2 interceptions in this game, it's going to be a rout.
like he just needs to play well until the fourth quarter, and then anything can happen.
I think Carson Beck will play well simply because he knows this is it for him.
Yeah.
If he wants to continue to play football, he's got to win this game, bro, to get drafted into the NFL at any respectable number.
Right.
Because going into last year, I remember he was projected the number 1 pick, and by the end of the year, he had to go to Miami. You know what I mean? I understand he got hurt, but his draft stock had dropped so much, it wouldn't have been no reason for him to go on the draft, even if he hadn't got hurt. So now he spent this whole year trying to build back his stock, and he's going to have to get a ring to really be one of the top 6 quarterbacks probably taken in this draft. And he's going to have to win the national championship. Him just getting there wasn't enough. I think maybe I'm wrong. Am I wrong? I think he can still go undrafted right now.
No,
Beck?
Yeah.
I think he's drafted.
I think he'll get drafted 5th, 6th round.
What about if he wins?
If he wins, I think maybe a 4th, but I still don't think like much can change after this game for him, win or lose, honestly.
I think if he has a great showing, he goes out there, he has a great showing. Now, I don't mean put up a whole bunch of points on the board. I mean just goes out there, makes
points. Yeah.
Yeah, it does, and doesn't do anything dumb, making any dumb ass interceptions, fumble the ball or something like that. I think he can work his way up to probably being about a 3rd rounder. But I don't think I'm not sure if he maybe a 6th rounder, something like that. But I don't think he's a surefire get drafted lock right now.
Yeah, for some reason I have this theory in my head where I don't like because these college kids are younger than NFL, so it's different. I don't like when teams are rolling into the national title game.
Right.
There's something about that. Like I want you in a close game. I think it's easy to be confident when you're up that much. But
right.
Like I said, I'm rooting for Indiana because of the story. I think this would be the greatest underdog story I've ever seen.
Man, Miami's definitely battle tested. I will say that they're definitely battle tested. But Indiana, bro, is their coach, bro. It's their coach that it's hard to bet against them.
I don't think I've liked the coach like I've liked Cignetti in years, bro.
Bro, I was looking around for our top 5 picks as far as coaches is concerned, because I wanted to see what y'all had said about Cignetti before, but I can't find. I don't have to go through all the stuff, bro, that we had prior. I'm gonna have to go look at it again, though.
Well, that's why I say whenever you do post on YouTube, I would date it, because then you can always go back and you can approximately find it. But what's it called? I know none of us had him top 5, but I think that's fair though, because he hasn't won yet.
Top 5. I
did
top 5. Yeah.
Okay. But see, even that, like, I think it was premature, but now I think you can, because he's won a Big Ten title and he's gone to a national title.
That motherfucker won, bro.
I just like last year the way he was talking spicy, bro. I liked him last year. I'm like, oh, that fool really with this.
We all liked them last year.
I liked them last year. I just didn't think they were gonna do this year.
Right, Indiana, bro. It's Indiana.
And
that's
bro.
For everybody tuned in right now, I just want to say that. For anybody who's just starting to watch college football, this is literally to me like,
they were a top 10 worst program ever.
Yeah, like whatever you think, like I can't even think of a team.
Oh, did y'all know their last bowl win was 1992? I wasn't in the room.
Bruh.
Like we're asking for them to win an exhibition game.
I'm telling you, bro, this is crazy.
The last time they won a Big Ten title game, 1967. Like this was one of the worst programs. Like I said, I always use the example. We couldn't name 5 NFL players from Indiana. Like we barely named like 3.
Right, like UConn. If UConn next year like just became this great football school, you'd be like, what? UConn?
I go further. I say UMass.
No, they were pitiful.
Bruh. Shout out to Cincinnati though, bruh.
Yeah.
Anybody want to give the MVP real quick of the championship game?
I'll say Mesidor.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's a really good one.
He ends up with 2.5 sacks.
I'll go Malachi Tony, bro. I think he breaks one, like a crazy return or like maybe like a little curl and he takes all the way to the house at a great part of the game.
Okay, I'll go Carson Beck. I think Carson Beck at some point has to put his stamp on it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's Fletcher either. All right, well, there you have it. I guess that's it. We done. Hey, see, real quick, give us his picks in the NFL real quick before we.
I was just about to ask. So, see, all right, Bills, Broncos. Me, Tony, and X picked the Bills.
Bro, I got the Broncos.
Wow.
Better coaching. Sean Payton gonna have them ready, bro. And I don't believe it. I think Josh Allen did everything that he could possibly do to get them there. There's no way he should have won that game last week. And he did everything that he had. I think he left it out there. So I just think that Sean Payton gonna have them prepared for anybody coming there. That altitude gonna be crazy. And I think Denver just pulls it out.
All right. Pats. Pats, who the hell the Pats play? The Texans. Me and Antonio got the Pats. X got the Texans.
I got the Pats. I'm not confident though.
Yeah. That
Texans defense is crazy, bro. But CJ Stroud, I think how the hell did he keep dropping that ball, bro? I didn't get it. I was like, bro, anybody could go. But man, what's the name? What's the backup's name?
Davis Mills.
Yeah, I was like, bro, put Mills in, bro. This dude dropping up the damn ball, bro. Put Mills in, bro.
See, chill, man.
Bro, that's your boy, Davis Mills. That's your boy.
I do like Davis Mills, but that don't mean you've been CJ Stroud. What are we doing here?
He's looked bad though.
Man, I'm rolling with him, bro. That's my quarterback. That's not fair. You gonna talk about my quarterback?
You sound more like I'm gonna stand beside him. That boy trash. I mean, I ain't gonna say he trash.
Well, he not trash. He
was trash that game, bro. He was trash that game. I think the defense definitely won that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they won in spite of him, not because of him.
But he's scary. That's what makes them dangerous. Because they're so good defensively. If he plays a C game, they'll blow you out. They blew him out last week. No, he played terrible.
Bro, look who they was playing, bro.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's what you do. That's what you see.
Bro, playing Aaron Rudolph,
go to the next game, box office. We're not about to have no slander towards Aaron Rodgers. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Aaron Rudolph, bro.
Aaron Rodgers even outplayed Stroud. All right, how about Seahawks Niners? We all had the Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks only because Kittle's hurt, bro.
Right.
I would definitely have taken the Niners if Kittle's hadn't gotten hurt.
How about the Rams Bears?
This is a tough one.
We all picked the Rams.
I got the Rams though.
Yeah.
A healthy Rams, I take them probably over anybody in the NFC.
All right. Well, that's it.
Well, shout out to y'all boys
for sending me his damn picks soon.
Shout out to y'all boys for pulling up, man.
Hold on, man. Before we get out of here, man, I wasn't on here. I gotta know. What do y'all think about the Mike Tomlin resigning thing?
See, X thinks he actually resigned. I think the Steelers fired him, but they respect him so much and appreciate him that they mutually said, "We'll call it mutual."
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And I believe the only reason why they fired him because of the public outlet backlash. And they saw Baltimore do it, and they were like, shit, I mean, if they can fire him, we can fire Tomlin. And they went ahead and pulled the trigger. They said, but you've been good to us. We're gonna continue to be good to you. We're gonna say you decided to step down. I think that's what happened. But the next question is, do you think what do you think his next move is?
So he's definitely not coaching this year. He's not. I think he's going to take at least a year off, do the Sean Payton thing, reset. I think what he should do, because he's only 56, that's very young for an NFL coach. I think, and I compared it to Andy Reid in Philly. Like, it doesn't mean you're a bad coach. You sometimes just need a change. I think I don't think he's going to coach this year. He's probably going to hop on TV. Mm-hmm. And what I would do if I was Mike Tomlin, I would not coach until Andy Reid retires, and I would tell Kansas City, I will take that job. Interview me, because when I go back, I want a quarterback, and he'll have Mahomes. Now, what I think he does, I don't know if Andy Reid's going to retire after next year. I just think he's going to take a year off, and he'll be coaching somewhere else next year. The following year. Meanwhile, I do think Harbaugh is going to coach next year. He interviewed with the Giants today.
Yeah. X?
Take the Titans job, Harbaugh. Be smart, man. Cam Ward, $100 million. Hey, man, you know what's up, man. Hey, listen to your boy. If y'all just listen, y'all don't want to listen. I be trying to throw you the alley, brother, go get it, but you don't want to listen, see? But as far as Tomlin, I don't think that he was fired. I don't. I think that he basically said, okay, y'all keep wanting to call for my job. Y'all keep wanting to say that, they should go in a different direction. And they probably had a conversation. He was like, you know what? I do think that, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to take a year or so, like Box Office said. And we'll see what happens with the Steelers moving forward. It always goes back to what you say, see? Who are you going to replace him with now? Are they going to be better than Mike Tomlin? I don't know. But I think that he felt the pressure, and he felt like y'all keep disrespecting him. You hear people on podcasts say, great coach. He's not a great coach. I've never thought he was a great coach. I've never thought this of him. And now he's probably had enough of it and was like, you know what? Cool. I'm going to take my step back, and I'm going to go find me another job. But I'm going to take a year off. I think he's going to be on TV as well.
All right. I'm going to tell you two things. I'm going to tell you what I think he does, and I'm going to tell you what I want him to do. I think that he takes a year off, most definitely goes in the TV. What I want him to do is go coach the Baltimore Ravens. That would be the funniest, that would be the best stuff ever, bro. If he would go coach the Baltimore Ravens, he got a quarterback, he got a running back, he got everything that he needs, and he would get to stick it to Pittsburgh 2 games a year and stick it to that crowd at least 1 game a year. He'd be like, y'all ain't want me. I would love to see that, bro. That would be the best thing to happen in the NFL. I think the NFL should make him go.
But the only issue is because they called it a step down and they mutually like each other, they have his rights.
Yeah,
they got to trade him like the Saints traded Peyton, and they're not trading him in division.
Oh, they have to. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, dang, I didn't think about it.
That's why I don't think he was. I don't think he was fired. I think that he said, "I don't want to hear all that no more. Y'all keep saying that y'all want to go a different direction. Cool, we'll go a different direction. I'm gonna take a step down."
I mean, I think a little bit of that was it, but I think the Steelers were also like, I mean, we want you gone as well, honestly.
I'll tell you why I don't want him to go though. That's the Atlanta damn Falcons, bro. I do not want him in my division coaching the Falcons with the weapons that they have that they just haven't known anything what to do with. Now, still has the same problem. He can't find a quarterback, but at least he got a little something to work with over there.
The issue though is because I think he's taken a year off. I mean the Falcons, the Ravens, none of these jobs will be available. I think the following year because they'll be with another coach in his second year. I don't think they'd let go of somebody. So I could see the Jets opening up.
Yeah,
I could see who's gonna be bad in 2 years. The Raiders still gonna be bad.
yeah.
They're not gonna fire another coach after 1 year again.
It's the Raiders do that type of stuff.
The Raiders will do that. I don't put that past them, bro. They terrible.
Yeah, that's what they do. They just fired Antonio Pierce and Pete Carroll back to back 1 year each.
Bro, that's insane, bro. That's insane, bro.
Cowboy job might be open.
I could see the Browns again. They'd fire their coach within a year, but they're in the same division, so they wouldn't trade them there. That's the issue.
What do y'all think about Washington? If Washington don't have another good year,
Yeah, it could be open.
That could be over, possibly. What about? Well, never mind. I was gonna say Jerry World, but Jerry and Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin would want to strangle him. Mike Tomlin would strangle Jerry Jones.
You know what job won't be open? The Saints, baby, and Kellen Moore. Woo!
That might be open.
Hey, whoa, big fella. Watch your mouth. Hold on.
I really think if Andy Reid retires next year, bruh, if I'm Mike Tomlin's agent, I'm blowing up their phone until they answer me. Give me Patrick Mahomes.
Hell, I'm showing up.
Ooh, I know another one. If Sean McDermott continues not making it in the Super Bowl, hey, I think Tomlin wants to coach Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I just think Mike Tomlin's going to be smart. He's not going to take Tennessee, even though you think they have a quarterback of the future.
Oh, that's the best job on the market.
No. He wants a guy that's established 100%.
Look at
Josh
Drake
Allen, Patrick Mahomes. So give me one of those guys.
Hey.
Before we get out of here, what job is Harbaugh going to take?
So I'm hearing it's between New York and Tennessee.
I'm going to New York.
Bro, why?
Bro, they got a quarterback and a running back and a receiver. What you mean?
I think he's gonna end up with the Giants. The only reason is I think him and his brother don't want to be in the same conference.
I agree with you. I think he goes to the Giants as well, but I would go to Tennessee. Tennessee. I might become a Titan fan, bro. You know what?
I'm really a Titans fan, bro.
Hey, I might become a Titans fan, bro. You know what? Shout out to my boy Drew, man. Shout out to you, Drew, man. I might go join y'all, man. Box office be going to them Tennessee games. I might start going with you, box office, bro.
Take your tight looking ass on over there, bro.
Cam Ward for president.
He wasn't that impressive as a rookie.
You gonna see.
He wasn't terrible. He wasn't terrible.
All I need to see is y'all think they need to be great. I just need to see the flashes. I seen what I needed to see.
He wasn't better than our rookie quarterback.
Bro, okay. You would take our rookie quarterback over Cam Ward?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Remember what he said just now, okay? 5 years from now, he said he would take Tyler Shuck over Cam Ward. We're gonna replay this back.
They played head to head. You know that, right?
Hey,
See would take any Saints quarterback. He'd take Aaron Brooks over him.
Name somebody on Tennessee's roster, bro.
Jeffrey Simmons.
I'm just messing with you. But man, shout out to y'all boys, man. Shout out to my dog Cam Ward, bro. I know my dog gonna be great, man. I know he's gonna be great. But I'm still a Saints fan. Who that, baby? Who that? See, don't shake your head and don't say I'm not a Saints fan. Hey, bro. At the end of the day, I know I picked Miami, but I just want a great championship game. I can care less about really who wins because y'all know what I rep, man. I rep that boot, man. The number one portal class. The number one portal class right now.
It was number one last year, too.
Office, we don't want to hear on it.
It was number one last year, too.
The wrong coach had him. We got the right coach now.
Man. And I'm going to tell y'all, because y'all my brothers, man, I didn't put it out there, so this is an exclusive, but I officially earned my master's degree. I'll put a picture up on Facebook and social media soon once it comes in. But they sent me my digital copy on my phone yesterday, and my mom, man, yeah, I'm not even gonna cry out here. I'm gonna just stop. My mom was just super proud of me, man. Still a mama's boy after all these years. And the next step, man, Dr. Tron coming soon.
Yeah.
Congrats, X. That's big time. I am rooting for the Hoosiers because I've seen a bunch of Miami stories. I want to see something new. Indiana would be awesome and dope to see. I don't know why C was ducking us. I'm glad he made it to Miami. He was in that car forever. Hey, shout out to y'all. A great weekend ahead. 2 playoff games on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and then the national title game. Cannot wait. See y'all next week.
All right, man. You know me. Last week, shout outs. I will go to my family, Hunter, Morgan, Tori, Christian, Lee, and Edward. Daddy, love y'all. I'll see y'all in just a second. And to my beautiful wife, Patricia, I love you too. I'll see you in just a second. And to Pap's babies, Marcel Carter, Brian, and Azaria Grace, Brian. Pap, love y'all. I'll see y'all in just a second, even if it's just on my screensaver. And shout out to all of them. I took all of them except for 2 of those people to a New Orleans Pelican game last night, man. Even though the Pelicans came up short, it was a great experience for the family, bro. It really was. And I will tell you this, bro. Trey Murphy, the truth, bro.
Hey!
It really is, man. That boy made my parlay hit in last second. I was leaving. I was pissed off. I was like, man, I should have cashed out, bro. I know I should have cashed out. And my son told me not to. I said, damn, man, I'm leaving. I said, man, you owe me $100. And we were leaving. And it was bad, bro. It wasn't bad. It was like everybody knew the Pels were gonna lose, like, because that's what they do this year. They blow the game in the fourth quarter. So like they were up by I think like 5. Then all of a sudden they were down by 5, and it was like 15 seconds left, and everybody started leaving. And so we started leaving or whatever. But you know how they had the TVs in the areas or whatever. So we were leaving, and then I needed one more point for Trey Murphy to hit my parlay, and I was like, this boy ain't gonna do it. The boy ended up stealing the ball and getting a layup or whatever, and made my parlay hit. But I was so happy, man. I was so happy, bro, because I put $60 on it. I was like, man, I don't want to lose my little $60 on this, bro. I'd hit 3 others on that game, but I didn't want to lose. I just put like $10 on those. But I put 60 on this one. I said, man, no, you gotta get 30, bro. Because he was cooking like that. Anyway, man, shout out to Trey Murphy too, bro. That boy the truth.
That's it. All right. Peace out.